Much too kind. Habari gani, everyone. On behalf of the African American Cultural Center, us, we warmly welcome you to our Sunday Soul Session. Well, the topic today is Haiti Revolution Reflections, Legacy, and Current Lessons of Resistance.
And your name, sir?
Pardon me, Maulana?
And your name, sir?
Asante, Maulana. Appreciate it what you asked, Seba Maulana, if I understand you correctly. My name is Seba Tulivu Jadi, and I'm co-vice chair of the organization, us, along with my sister, Seba Chumbuko Tembo. And again, we are honored to have you join us this afternoon for what's going to be an excellent presentation, Haiti Revolution Reflections, Legacy and Current Lessons of Resistance, celebrating the 231st anniversary of the Haiti Revolution. My name is again Seba Tulivu, and I'm co-associate director of the African American Cultural Center. And again, we thank you for joining us from around the country and from around the world African community. And before we begin today's program, let me briefly share with you the history and goals of our organization. Then I, in turn, will introduce Chumbuko Tembo, who will introduce the program and the presenters. The organization US was founded 57 years ago on September 7th, 1965 by our chair, Seba Dr. Maulana Karenga, and we have 7 basic fundamental goals to understanding what we do and why we do it. Our first goal is to continue the Black cultural revolution, which is to struggle to win the hearts and minds of our people. Our second goal is to provide political education to the Black community. Our third goal is to build independent Black institutions and strengthen already existing ones. Our next goal is to advise and assist others in organizational formation and development. Our fifth goal is to serve as a reference and a resource center for the Black community. And our sixth goal is to participate in cooperative community projects. One of the most important cooperative community projects that we're involved in is in the building and sustaining of the Black United Front called BCCLA, the Black Community, Clergy, and Labor Alliance. And our seventh and final goal, sisters and brothers, is to help rebuild the movement and continue the overall struggle for liberation and a higher level of human life. This has been our core, this has been our core 7 efforts for the past 35 years, and is summed up in our principles of work, service, struggle, and institution building. I'll now turn the program over to Seba Chumbuko Tembo, who will in turn introduce Dr. Maulana Karenga. Seba Chumbuko Tembo is a Seba. That is to say, she's a moral teacher in Kawa Idamat, along with being co-vice chair of the organization US and being co-assistant director of the African American Cultural Center. She is also chair of the Say Newt Society, the Sisterhood of the World African Community, and she's publisher of the University of San Khoi Press, and she's executive circle member of the organization US. Please join our sister, Seba Chumbuko Tembo. Karibuni, Seba Chumbuko.
Asante sana, Seba Tulivu, you're much too kind. Karibuni, karibuni ndugu na dada, rafiki na wageni. Imekuta jamaa yenu na mahali pa amani. Na tunawatakia baraka bila idadi. Na vitu vyote vizuri bila mwisho. Welcome, sisters and brothers, friends and guests. Among us, you found your family in a very peaceful place, and we wish for you blessings without number, all good things without end. Again, we welcome you to the African American Cultural Center, US. We appreciate you joining us this afternoon for our annual commemoration of the Haitian Revolution. Like you, I'm really looking forward to this afternoon's soul session. I know it's going to be engaging and informing. But before introducing Dr. Karenga, who will welcome us, talk about the history of our organization, and also introduce our speaker for today, attorney Èzili Dantò, let me briefly share with you and reaffirm the history of the organization US in terms of our support for the Haitian people. The African American Cultural Center US has a long history of providing support to Haiti and the Haitian people. We've engaged in various education, mobilization, organization, and confrontation activities, including the founding of the Coalition in Solidarity with Haiti, the donating of monies to the Marshall Mirabeau Haitian Development Fund at the Center for the University of Fandwa under the auspices of Father Albert McKnight, the sponsoring and participating in Haitian Flag Day celebrations, the sponsoring of an annual commemoration of the Haitian Revolution which today is the writing of numerous articles and lecture presentations by Dr. Maulana Karenga in support of Haiti as part of our ongoing political education activities as an organization, our ongoing donations to support various development activities, institutions, and persons in Haiti, our sponsoring and co-sponsoring of rallies and demonstrations against the US and against the UN occupation of Haiti, visiting Haiti, and especially by our brother in Pendusi Kutasa, visiting Haiti and holding conversations with the Haitian people, and then sharing those interviews, photos, and information at community forums here in the US to build and strengthen relationships between African American and Haitian peoples. And most recently, following the devastating earthquake and flood last year, we donated to Haitian organizations, including the Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees, and also Haitian to Haiti, sponsored by the Links organization, as well as donating to individual Haitian persons and families. And we know that many of you also donated, and we appreciate those donations as well. It should also be noted that the African American Cultural Center, US, has been awarded by Congresswoman Maxine Waters, who is also a champion for Haiti, for our ongoing efforts in support of the people of Haiti. It is now my distinct honor to introduce Saber Dr. Maulana Karenga, who will in turn introduce our forum for today and our speaker, Attorney Èzili Dantò. Again, the title of our presentation for today is Haiti, Revolution Reflections, Legacy and Current Lessons of Resistance. Dr. Maulana Karenga is professor and chair of the Department of Africana Studies at California State University, Long Beach. He's the founder and chair of the organization US, which means Us African People, and the National Association of Kawida Organizations. Dr. Karenga is perhaps most widely known for his creation of the Pan-African and African-American cultural holiday Kwanzaa, which is celebrated by millions and millions of African people throughout the world African community on every continent in the world. He is also the creator of the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles, the African communitarian principles, which are used as cultural grounding for millions of people and thousands of organizations around the world African community. Dr. Karenga is author of numerous scholarly articles and books, including Introduction to Black Studies, which is the most widely used introductory text in the field of Black Studies. Kwanzaa, a celebration of family, community, and culture, which is the authoritative text for the holiday. Selections from the Hosea, Sacred Wisdom of Ancient Egypt, and Kawaida, Questions of Life and Struggle. All of those are available from the University of Sankore Press. Dr. Karenga is currently working on a masterpiece on Haji Malcolm X, titled The Liberation Ethics of Malcolm X, Critical Consciousness, Moral Grounding, and Transformative Struggle. Moreover, he is the subject of a book authored by Dr. Molefi Keti Asante, titled Maulana Karenga, An Intellectual Portrait. Dr. Karenga's distinctiveness as an activist scholar lies in the fact that he is the intellectual architect of a philosophy of life, work, and struggle called Kawaida, which is the ongoing synthesis of the best of African sensitivities, thought, and practice in constant exchange with the world. We invite you to visit our website to access Dr. Karenga's many articles on Haiti and the Haitian Revolution. Brothers and sisters, please give a warm welcome, giving our introduction of the subject as well as our speaker, to please give a warm welcome to Saber Dr. Maulana Karenga. Asante Sana.
Asante Saber Timbuko Tembo. Kwa niaba ya jumuiya yetu, yani us, tunasema karibuni mmekuja jamaa yenu na mahali pa amani. Na tunawatakia baraka bila idadi na vitu vizuri bila mwisho. So on behalf of our organization, us as advocates, we say welcome. You found your family in a peaceful place, and we wish for you blessings without number, all good things without end. And we bear witness as an African people that as our beginning was great and good, so shall our development toward eternity be, if we dare struggle, speak true, do justice, and walk in the way of right. Hotep, I say, hit it. We're honored today to have one of the leading Haitian activist attorney, Èzili Dantò, a multidimensional African woman who will lecture today to us on Haiti Revolution Reflection. Legacy and Current Lessons of Resistance, celebrating the 231st anniversary of this world transformative revolution, the Haitian Revolution. And one of the things I want to do in introducing her is to just reaffirm that there's revolution and continuing resistance in Haiti. And it is based on their radical refusal to be defeated. I said a radical refusal to be defeated. And we stand forever, as Sabre Timbugo said, as an organization and as a people in support of the Haitian people. We want to be always present, active allies in their righteous and relentless struggle. And this is part of it. And so as we celebrate and commemorate this month of revolution and resistance, we call Black August, we of necessity pay rightful and special homage to the people of Haiti, who mark on August 14th their 231st anniversary of Bò Kay Manbo liberation gathering of men and women to plan their world historical struggle, which will result in a victorious revolution that has deep and enduring meaning for the quest, concept, and practice of freedom throughout the world. Indeed, they dared to achieve in history what no other enslaved people had done, defeated their enslavers and their slavers' allies in battle, liberated themselves, and built a republic, lifting the light of possibility of liberation for all oppressed and struggling people. Not willing to be satisfied with their own achievement, they reached out to expand the realm of freedom in the Western Hemisphere and in the world, aiding the people of Latin America in their freedom struggle, offering arms and monies, materials, and soldiers. Indeed, they accomplished what no other revolution, I repeat, and people in history have done, including the American Revolution. They freed enslaved people, outlawed enslavement, and thus expanded the realm of human freedom in the world, and in a new and most essential way, reaffirming the inalienable and equal dignity and human right of freedom to all human beings. They did not accept the racial and religious catechism of impossibilities of their enslavement, but gathered under the leadership of their own priests, especially Hogan High Priest Judy Bookman and Mambo High Priest Cecile Fatima. They prayed a voodoo prayer, a prayer of struggle, and they turned that prayer into practice, the practice and promise of liberation, beginning the revolution and righteous and relentless armed struggle, August 22nd. The High Priest Bookman prayed this prayer. It is reported, the God who created the earth, who created the sun that gives us life, the God who holds up the ocean, who makes the thunder roar, our God, who has ears to hear. You are hidden in the cloud, who watch us from where you are. You see all that the whites have made us suffer. The white man's God asked them to commit crime, but the God within us wants us to do good. Our God, who is so good, so just, he commands us to avenge our wrong. It is he who will direct our arms and bring us victory. It is he who will assist us. We all should throw away the image of the white man's God, who is so merciless, and listen to the voice of freedom that speaks in our own heart. Having won its freedom by defeating 4 European armies, France, Spain, Britain, and the colonial French army internal, Haiti incurred the undying hatred of the oppressors of the world. For years, the U.S. would not recognize or even mention the name Haiti in its official discourse, and its allies in Haiti outlawed the name of Jean-Jacques Dessalines, whose uncompromising campaign for liberation with the people finished the fight. Hogan Bookman and Mambo Cecile Fatima and Toussaint Louverture and all Louverture and all those others who began. This is the source of the pathology and perversity of racist oppression that is particularly imposed on Haiti by the US, France, Canada, and other European imperialist powers, the so-called core group. And this radically evil imposition is not only to plunder and rob the Haitian people of their material and human resources, but also penalize, punish, and oppress the Haitian people in the extreme. This is why we say that whatever natural disasters, I said whatever natural disasters Haiti has suffered, and they have suffered terribly destructive ones, they have not been as, these natural disasters have not been as devastating as the unnatural disaster of white supremacists and racist imperialism of the white West. The list of vicious and savage impositions placed on the Haitian people, the children, the women, and the men, in collective punishment are first and foremost a brutal occupation. Then the denial of human rights on every level, a succession of imposed criminal dictatorships with fake elections posing as democracy, pervasive gang violence used as a tool of terrorism, suppression against the people, privatization and plundering of the land and resources of the people, and imposing extreme poverty, misery, and dependency on the people, undermining their agency and thwarting their rightful aspiration. In a word, the imperialists and occupiers have made Haiti a captive people and state, but the people continue to resist and offer an ongoing and radical refusal to be defeated. Our responsibility and that of all peoples of the world who love freedom and are committed to freedom and justice everywhere in the world is to stand in active solidarity and struggle with Haiti and the Haitian people as they continue their relentless resistance to achieve liberation from imperialist occupation and interference, and the awesome striving to repair and rebuild their lives in their own image and interest. But as I've said before, there can be no rightful rebuilding of Haiti without respect for the people's capacity to govern themselves, to rebuild their own economy, to draw effectively upon the rich resources of their own culture, to nurture and care for their own children in their own way, and restore democracy for which they have struggled so hard and long. To respect the people, then, is to value them, not only as human beings, but as human beings with a unique and equally valid and valuable way of being human in the world, a Haitian way. It is especially the case of Haiti, important to respect its history, the struggle and record of the people to free themselves and to bring themselves into being as a nation, new nation, and to sustain themselves with an unsurpassed resistance, resilience, and resourcefulness against such powerful internal and external pressures. Indeed, Haiti was born in a revolutionary triumphant resistance to one of the greatest evils of human history, the Holocaust of African enslavement. This righteous resistance was a contribution to expanding the realm of human freedom. It was, Black people, an uplifted light for the enslaved and oppressed of the world, and a warning to their enslavers and oppressors. And it's for this that they are oppressed. And we must realize this respect and this support is not only a struggle to liberate Haiti, but it's also a struggle that is at the heart of the history and future of the world African community. Indeed, Haiti's struggle mirrors and models righteous resistance to the global threat and violence of empire and its imperialist aggression, exploitation, degradation, and destruction of the world itself and all in it. And it is also, of course, offers models and mirrors for us to emulate the resilience, the resourcefulness, and the continued resistance of our people everywhere in righteous and relentless struggle, offering ongoing radical refusal to be repeated. I repeat, an ongoing radical refusal to be defeated. Our struggle and solidarity then must be on this fundamental principle, which encourages us not to walk away from the battlefield until the struggle is won. Indeed, we must embrace the understanding and righteous and relentless struggle. For as attorney Èzili Dantò, our speaker for today, a human rights lawyer and activist and founder of the Haitian Lawyers Leadership Network, says, tout autant nous pas gêner battre la fête commence, which is Creole for until we win, the struggle has just begun. What a beautiful statement. Until we win, right? The struggle has just begun. Okay? So regardless of setbacks, disappointment, desertions, betrayals, battle fatigue, and those who settle for a comfortable place in oppression, we must internally continue the struggle. We must intensify and continue the struggle in a radical refusal to be defeated. Then the Haitian people will again find themselves, and through mutually respectful alliances, they will find within themselves the capacity to achieve peace and security for themselves, to rebuild their lives and infrastructure, to receive their fields and forests, to restore self-sufficient agriculture taken from them by the United States, a self-sufficient agriculture and vibrant economy based on Haitian models and make their waters run clean and clear again, and speak a beautiful truth to all oppressed and struggling people. And so here today is one of the most important Haitian leaders and activists today, attorney Èzili Dantò, formerly colonially named Marguerite Laurent. She is a Haitian woman inspired, as her website says, is a Haitian woman inspired, guided, and directed by the strength, legacy, and vision of the Haitian warrior and goddess Èzili Dantò. She is an award-winning playwright, a performance poet, political and social commentator, author, and human rights attorney. She was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and raised in Stamford, Connecticut. She holds a BA from Boston College, a JD from the University of Connecticut School of Law, and attended the Hartford Conservatory for Ballet, Jazz, and Modern, while studying Haitian dancing at home and with countless Haitian dance experts in the field. Attorney Èzili Dantò is a gifted spoken word artist who uses Haitian folk art, their performance portrait, theater, and creative writing to create the Red, Black, and Moonlight series, her critically acclaimed one-woman jazzotry, if you have said that for me, Attorney Dantò, jazzotry, vaudeville dance, theater work, which she has toured internationally and also performed at colleges and universities, performance arts centers and theater, included at non-traditional theater venues such as the United Nations and Carnegie Hall. And I show you these pictures to show her in her many roles, okay? Attorney Èzili Dantò is a gifted spoken word artist who uses Haitian folk dance, performance, poetry, theater, and creative writing to create the Red, Black, and Moonlight series. Her critically, I did that, didn't I? Which she has toured. Okay, I got that. Okay, thank you. She is a member of the Poets and Writers Guild and an essayist and educator who specializes in using the writing skill and public presentation to teach about the light and beauty, the knowledge and wondrousness of Haitian culture, the symbolic and archetypal nature of Haitian voodoo, the illegality and immorality of forcing neoliberalism policies on Haiti and the developing world, the illegality and human rights violation caused by the U.S. embargo against Haiti during the era President Aristide and Préval presidency, 1994 to 2004, and the international crime currently unraveling Haiti because of the U.S., Canada, France supported February 29, 2004 coup d'etat and the U.S. UN occupation. She also uses art to teach the need for France to pay the extraordinary 1825 ransom it extorted from the Haitian people and the constant U.S. hostility Haiti faces, endures, and struggles to overcome as a first Black republic in the world after Ethiopia and the Eurocentric world, which purposely inflames instability, insecurity, impact, and chaos in the Black republic in order to better exploit their labor and natural resources. Actually, Haiti is the first republic since Ethiopia was a kingdomship, but I appreciate what you said. She is also a founder of the president of the Haitian Lawyers Leader Network, a network of lawyers, scholars, journalists, concerned individuals, and grassroots organizations, activists dedicated to institutionalizing the rule of law and protecting the civil and cultural rights of Haitians at home and abroad. Èzili, HLLN, this Haitian Lawyers Leadership Network, is the leading international and Haitian voice against right-wing humanitarianism, imperialism, pushing the neoliberal death plan and disaster capitalism in Haiti, and their corresponding lefty paid to lose tenured professor. She's hard, don't give no quarter. Okay, finally, attorney Èzili Dantò is the most prolific international writer and advocate for Haiti, and is internationally known as the foremost legal analyst and commentator writer on the untold counter-colonial narrative on Haiti. And Èzili Dantò, Zili, wrote a judicial reform agenda for Haiti itself, advised and supervised on numerous judicial reform projects while working as legal advisor and international foreign consultant to Haiti's first Democratic elected President Jean-Bertrand Aristide between 1993 and 1995. The Red, Black, and Moonlight performance here is a musical memoir based on that story and her life and work in the U.S. Okay, I want to stop right here and say it's an honor and pleasure to welcome you, Attorney Èzili Dantò. Let's all give her a warm and strong welcome. Asante.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, that is not supposed to be my background, but okay.
Oh, that's from your website.
Oh my goodness.
It was beautiful.
All right, very good. Thank you so very much. This
Thank
is
you.
an honor, an absolute honor to be with all of you today. And I'm going to try to share my screen so that I can do this. The host has spotlighted you. Unmute myself. Okay, am I unmute?
We can hear you.
Okay, very good. How can I record this? Do I send you a, I don't know how to send you a request.
Oh, I thought she was going to do that. Let me see it first.
Okay.
Oh, so tonight, did you hear her question? Or
Yes, how can I record this?
This may say, Maulana, appreciating what you asked, Attorney Danto. There's no option for us to allow you to record.
so you
Okay.
can just do it. You
Yeah,
can
but
just do it.
we're recording and then we can send you the recording.
But if
Okay,
you want to
there.
do it yourself, you can do it.
Yes, no, I can't. I have to ask you to do it. All right.
Okay, we're doing it. Mhm.
Okay, very good. I'm trying to get rid of this video, which I don't know why it's there. Recording.
So, I mean, tonight she didn't have an option for that.
Why is this happening? All right. I'm trying to just get this setting.
Can the text offer Attorney Èzili Dantò any advice in terms of, she wants to get rid of the palm trees and the
Yes, I'm trying to
that
get rid of
background.
background.
Can you all give her any advice on how she could do that?
Appreciate what you asked to and is Attorney Dantò, if I understand correctly. Do you see a little up arrow beside your video and your control panel at the bottom?
Besides my video, yes, I do.
And can you click on that little arrow?
Yes,
and
I
then
do.
you see video settings.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
And then also in there it says choose virtual background in that same section.
Okay, in that little arrow, choose virtual background. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, very good. I got it. Thank you so very much. That was so
You're so very
appreciative. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Asante
I
to
would-
you.
Honor and respect to everyone. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much, Dr. Karenga, for all the work that you've done over the years. You are a living library of freedom fighting, and I am honored and humbled to be on your platform.
I
and
return
your
honor
entire
to you in
team.
equal measure.
Thank you very much.
So much.
Now, is it possible for me to share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, 231 years ago, after 300 years of enslavement, the Africans stood up and began the revolution. Today, I will talk to you about some background information about how the resistance has been going on for 519 years, since 1492 in Haiti. And we will get to the women of the Haitian Revolution and perhaps of where we are today. The African warriors that Bò Kay Manbo Inan, Wakaima, did what Spartacus could not do, what the biblical Jesus never even tried to do, what Hinduism, what all of the prophets never taught to do. Haiti warriors at Bò Kay Manbo led a revolution that abolished slavery after nearly 1,200 years of Arab enslavement on the African continent and 300 years of European slavery in the Western Hemisphere, which began in Haiti. 231 year today on August 21 at night, there was a coordinated attack on the terrorists and slavers, which had taken our ancestors prisoners for life. The Haitian men, women, and children at Bò Kay Manbo Inan held the voodoo ceremony and war council that began the Haiti Revolution. The Haitian Revolution challenged, condemned, and abolished the practice of slavery, a feat, like I said, none of the prophets ever thought to do. They were the first to put liberty into application after the Christian destroyers had begun their genocidal rampage in the Americas. These profit over people nations are still today the core group. They are called the core group: the United States, France, Canada, Germany, Spain, and then all of their World War II organizations, the OAS, the UN, and the European Union. They are there as the core group, and they have come to try to erase the accomplishments of the warriors at Bò Kay Manbo Inan in the Haitian Revolution. But we're still here. Nous là, we're here. And there is a Haitian saying that says, Guinée posée. It is one of the lessons of the Haitian Revolution that I hope to impart today. It means we know we have already won. Nous là. To mark this day until eternity comes, every descendant of Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Blacks all over the world will always remember what the Haitian accomplished all of these years. As we look at these 519 years of Haitian revolution and resistance, as we know, we've never stopped fighting. Let's look at that territory. Haiti is a special territory. When on December 5th, 1492, the rapist and invader and colonist Christopher Columbus got to the Americas, the first place that he put a colony, Fort Navidad, was Haiti. Anakawona, Kawanabo, Bohikyo, Kasik, there were 5 different chiefs on that island, we are told in history. He left his fort there. And Anakawona is the queen at that time, married to Kawanabo. Kawanabo took up arms when the soldiers started raping the people, and they tried to get them out of Haiti. We have been fighting since then, 519 years. Anakawona took up arms like most women of the Haitian Revolution, and she fought Christopher Columbus's rapist, and she actually was deceived in a truce. And as they have no honor, they said to her she had only one choice: death or become a sex slave. And she chose death. And then you had Haute, who went to the Cuba with about 400 people to warn them that the Spaniards were going to be destroying them. And nobody believed him. And after he was caught, there's the famous line where he says, the priest, they're about to burn him at the stake. And the priest says, listen, we're going to baptize you so you can go to heaven. And he asked, well, are the Spanish going to be there?
Hey.
And he said, yes. And he said, I'd rather not go to heaven then.
Sorry.
And then we have 1676 Padre Jean, who tried to who started a revolution. Over and over again, we keep going. We know about Zumi and Dandara over at Palmares. They almost had 100 years before Haiti of Maroon colony, before Haiti, from 1605 to 1694. We want to mention Zumi and Dandara,
Yes.
his wife, in Brazil. Why? Because the colonists and invaders are back in Haiti and they want to bring us to extinction,
Yeah.
as they did Palmares. And so I speak to all Haitians. They are seeking your extinction. That's what they are. And so we must remember Zumi and his wife, Dandara. The women of the Haitian Revolution. We're going to learn about two types of warrior women who finished what Queen Nzinga and the prophetess Kempa Vita started in the Congo against the Portuguese.
Mhm.
We are going to learn also about the Dahomey warriors, because Haiti is that unity everyone is looking for in Pan-Africanism. We don't call ourselves Fawn or Congo or Benin. We are Haitian, but we are the amalgamated tribes. There were two different and more really, but we're going to focus on not the Igbos. We're going to focus on the Dahomeyan Amazons. And excuse my language, it's very hard to decolonize and find a word that you might understand. But in their culture, they're called Mino, mother warriors. But I will be using the word Amazon today, the Dahomeyan Amazons. In their culture, they're called the Mino, the mother warriors. They were the guards that fought in Dahomey. If you've watched Black Panther, well, we had them in Haiti. And the Congo queens, the descendants of Queen Nzinga, Dede Magritte, and Dede Defile, did what Queen Nzinga and Campa Vita could not do. They wanted to stop the Portuguese expansion in Angola and Congo. We did it in Haiti. Same thing with the Dahomeyan Amazons. They did it in Haiti, and let that be known. And we will talk also about right before the revolution, we had Macandal. For years, Macandal was using working with Grande Brigitte. People never don't ever talk about the women, so I'm going to emphasize the women. Grande Brigitte was his wife. She was the one that made the portions. Macandal lived in the same space that is the Norman de Mezire plantation, where the ceremony that began the Haitian Revolution started. So it's a very important space, and I will be showing you some videos of it, because we work very closely with the location where the revolution started. And then we will talk. So I've already talked to you about that. And so now this behind Macandal here, this picture is what we call the drawn sounds. Haitien understood frequencies, vibration, and energy, and that we are all frequency, vibration, and energy, and they had been in the world for so long that they understood how to draw these vibrations. And this one in the back is Grande Brigitte's vibration. She's a herbalist, healer, protector of children. I believe it is written that about for the years between, some people say between 6 to 18 years, he was poisoning the invaders and the rapists and the colonists. He had left so this is
Attorney Danto, I don't
Yes.
think we're seeing what you see. You might need to put play. Have you put
you're not seeing it?
No.
It's not
Okay.
moving.
Your screen sharing is paused. Stop. Resume. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Resume share. How do I resume share?
What you say to me?
Stop.
Go back to the
All right, I will do it again and see what happens.
So go back to the green, share it, and then, well, you back there now, so.
Yeah, so you weren't seeing any of it?
Now we see it.
All right. This is a picture inside the temple at
No, this is what we see now is the maroon, and then we see Makanda and his wife in back. What was her name again? Say her name.
Glan Brigitte.
Languigi. Okay.
Glan Brigitte.
Languigi.
Yes. You. So he was at the same plantation that Bookman and all those delegates went to on August 14th. Jeez. That's the plantation that he was in 1957. Excuse me. He was killed actually in 1958, burnt at the stakes. The legend is, but before that, he had spent almost a decade poisoning the invaders to the point where they would have the cook's children taste the food. We are told that about 6,000 whites and Black collaborators were poisoned by Glan Brigitte and Makandal. And he is well known for prophesizing that Blacks would own this land. For those who might want to have a visual of what it looked like in those days, I'm going to recommend the infamous Rosuli. It's a novel, but it talks about the poisoning. And it also talks about the indomitable spirit of Haitian women and how, because they were constantly being raped, the herbalist midwives, there was one in particular that kept a cord with knots for every child she killed because she did not want them to be born into the inferno of this space. This is inside that, and inside the temple you also have a picture of Mambo Inan. This is at Montrouge in the north of Haiti, and it's inside the Bouffon where people serve today. All right, we already talked about Kasik Hatre and Anakaona. Are you seeing my screen, please?
Yes, we are now.
Very good. I mentioned to you that he said, you know, as he was being burned, we talked about Zumi. You said you didn't see it, so I'm just going back a little bit. Frederick Douglass said something that I always quote, that until she wrote, no Christian nation abolished Negro slavery. Right. Until she wrote, no Christian nation had given the world an organized effort to abolish slavery. Until she spoke, the slave trade was sanctioned by all Christian nations of the world, and our land of liberty and light included. Men made fortunes by this infernal traffic and were esteemed good Christians and the standing types and representation of the savior of the world. Until she spoke, the church was silent and the pulpit was dumb. Slave traders lived and slave traders died. Funeral sermons were preached over them, and of them it was said that they died triumphs of the Christian faith and went to heaven. This is an excerpt from Frederick Douglass. This is the famous, of course, conch. When the revolution started, it was blown, and this is the sound.
Cease.
I'm sure those of you who meditate understand what that is. Sound is very, very, very important. Mm-hmm. Strategy. I was talking to you about the women. Well, a lot of the women that came from the area of Angola and Congo, the Congo Queen, the woman that they call Cécile Fatima, the woman that they say was the priestess that began that presided in Haiti. She is known as Mambo Inan, I-N-A-N, and she is a spiritual vibration. She is the representative of Queen Nzinga. These are the two Congo fighters that I was talking to you about, Kempavita and Queen Nzinga. Kempavita is very important to understand. She died around 1706. The revolution in Haiti started in 1791, about 84 years later. But yet, the Congo women who were enslaved in Haiti used Catholicism the way that Kempavita was using Catholicism in the Congo to fight the enslavers. So once you understand that, so the Dahomey and Amazons from Benin and the Congo Queen Nzinga and prophetess Kempavita didn't achieve in Africa what they didn't achieve in Africa. The Haitians accomplished, which was what they were trying to do in Africa, of course, was to stop the spread of slavery. So this story, my people, is about how the colonist and enslaver was destroyed from within. It's the story of the Haitian Revolution you probably have never heard, because a sector within its slavetocracy that it never ever suspected, and this is important for today when we're talking about strategy. Please pay very, very focused attention to how these women organize the gathering at Bò Kay Manbo, because the sector of the slavetocracy, they never suspected it, because they were thinking these women were too old. They had already spent their life as enslaved people. So when you see folks who say, I'm tired, and sometimes I say it because I've been out here for decades, I want you to remember these women. They had already spent their lifetime enslaved, and now they were pretty much thrown away. But there's something you have to also understand and be very focused about. They spent most of the days fasting and praying. They had special gifts that allowed them to thrive within that society. And that special gift was they were herbalists, healers, midwives. These were what these women were. So they were indispensable to all sectors, which means Maroons came to them for help. Free Blacks came to them, mulattoes, even whites. And so they had a hand in all the sectors in society. They were brilliant and so crafty that the system didn't play them. They played the system. Since I can't find a picture of what they look like, I found this picture of retired Dahomey and Amazons. So just to give you some kind of visual, right, of Dedes, actually she has my colonial name. They called her Dedes Marguerite, but she was actually known as Marguerite Jean Vaudou. And what's important about this lady, this Mambo, this high priestess, is that she became the spiritual advisor to General Henri Christophe. So she was from the Congo, and you can see in the ceremony that they used Congolese words, right? And we're going to get to that. But before we move on this page, so you see these women. There is a woman that's everyone calls her Défilé. And Défilé is written in history as being crazy. She was part of Dessalines' soldiering troops. But she is the one that's famously known as when Dessalines was murdered, killed at Pont Rouge. She picked up his pieces like ISIS, or excuse me, or a set. She picked up the pieces, right, and gave him a funeral. But all in history, they called her, but her name is Marie Sainte Dede Brazil. So if you have that designation, Dede, D-E-D-E, that was a branch of the Catholic Church in the north of Haiti. It was a laic branch. They did not ever expect these women to say coupe tête boule caille, ever. So that's why I want to say that there's this category of Black people with special privileges in the slaveocracy of Haiti that no one ever mentions, and that these people help with the overseers, the commandeurs. Boukman was a commandeur. 200 of them. They were allowed to go to church on Sunday. And guess what? Who was at that church except but Dede Magritte? And they planned the revolution with all the commanders. And then you have the other ones, like I said, that are Dahomeyan, like Grand Toya. Her name is Abd Badaraya Toya from Dahomey. She went back into slavery to raise Ogu. So this is important, women. How are we going to break our chains? We have to raise Ogu. How did these women do it? They raised them. And so, but before we get into the story a little bit, I also want to say that Vive la Cour Combi Jardin. I want to just let you know that's what they were fighting for. But there were other sectors within the slaveocracy, like the Mulatto Sons of France, that wasn't talking about La Cour Combi Jardin. They really just wanted to reflect and take over the same roles of the colonists. And this is something that's very important to understand. So these Dedes, they perform charitable works for their lay community and would sometimes provide religious guidance, right? One of the things that's important to understand is that many of these people that started the revolution were affranchis. That means they were free Blacks, okay? Free Blacks. This is important for today. Think of integration. They were already in that society. They had an education. They were free Blacks. And there's going to be a conflict between what they call Bosal and the Creole, those who were born in Haiti and those who were born, because the masses were born in Africa, because the age was between 3 to 7 years to last in Haiti, because the work was so horrible and the situation was so terribly I want to show you how they were connected, right? I'm just giving you a visual. These are, not what the people look like. But let's say Dede Magritte looked like this. She would be the spiritual advisor of Henri Christophe. Who was Henri Christophe? Henri Christophe came from, people say Grenada, and most people say St. Kitts. He was enslaved there as a boy. He was sold to a free Black man. So remember in the Haitian Revolution, how it happened. It was free Black men with some privileges that raised at least 2 generals, Henri Christophe and Jean-Jacques Dessalines. The man who took Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Haiti's founding father, out of slavery was a free Black man. The man who bought Henri Christophe was a free Black man. His name was Quadavid, and he had a daughter, and she would end up becoming the first queen of Haiti after the revolution, when the country was split, and Christophe became king of Haiti. So they met there. So it's a love story, right? And what's really also important, Black people, is if you look at the Haitian Revolution, you will see a lot of these women were paired together with husbands. It is when that pairing stopped working that the divisions came along. But just to speak in modern terms, think of the Dedes. They created young Ogu and Dantos, right? They created Christophe, Henri Christophe, and they created his wife, because his wife, her name is Marie-Louise. She was the daughter of Quadavid, and she fell in love with a young enslaved boy. Her father owned a hotel, and in that hotel, all the planters came, and Cap, at that time was Cap Français, but I'm going to say Cap Haïtien. And so they were in the center of listening to what was going on with the planters. So and then there was a school. It's very important, especially I'm saying this for Haitians who are living in Cap Haïtien today, because on August 14th in Haiti, there's a national holiday, and it's not about the Haitian Revolution, because the priests came back in 1860 and they conditioned the people's mind, and we will talk about that. But the national holiday is not the day Notre Dame, because when the revolution was happening, it was the feast of Notre Dame on August 14th. They planned it because they knew the planters were not going to be there. But by distorting the story, you think Haitians, when they have a Vodou ceremony right now, instead of lifting up Èzili Dantò, the one that Dédé Magritte, even though she appeared to be Catholic, right? They would be going to Bò Kay Inan. It means near Inan's house for ceremonies every night. And there is evidence, you can find it. Let's say I brought some books for you guys that I really like to tell folks, where the school that this young woman that would become Henri Christophe's wife, she was just 13 in 1791. Marie-Louise Quadavid. She was 13. She would become his wife 2 years later in 1793. All right. They had 4 children. She ended up, of course, in exile after he was killed later, or he killed himself actually. But we might get to that. You guys can ask from in the question times. But the point I want to make is that there was interconnection between the people. The revolution was organized, tightly organized. There is a and I like, because no one ever hears about the Dedes. They are elderly Black women from Africa who live together sometimes in houses or in towns for economic protection, for self-sufficiency, because it was a very brutal space to be there. And the most famous of them, her name is Marguerite Jean Vaudou. The reason why she is so famous is because even in the time of independence, before independence, she had the first Umfo, the first Vodou temple. They allowed her to have it because she was healing so many people. But what she did was that she gave it a Catholic name. So she used that Umfo as a chameleon, but they thought that she was really into the archangel. She named it Bakiel. This is what was so important about her. So much so that after the revolution, like 150 years, like in 1941, they took her bones and crushed it. The white man is so mad, but this stuff is not in the books. Okay, as I said, it was a late order of the Church of Notre Dame. All right, and Marie Croix David, she went to the school, and that school, and these women, they were given the task of helping these women with marriage, with all sorts of this is what they did. And they took those women and they became mambos. And one of them was Cécile Fatima. Cécile Fatima was purchased also by Croix David. We know in history, they say that she was the daughter of a Corsican priest and an African woman, a negress. I mean, I'm not priest, prince, and an African woman. And he sold her into slavery. Well, it looks like Croix David bought her, married her, so that Marie Louise, that became the queen of Haiti at some point, could have been the sister, but she was only 16. And it is unlikely that she was the one that held the ceremony. We don't know. She could have. I've written that she had, because, you know, our story is so mixed up. But Mambo Inan is identified in the books as a negress. That means someone that was African born, and we know she was a Creole. That Cécile Fatima was a Creole. And they said that it was a negress with strange eyes. I forgot. I'll remember it. So this is a picture of the famous, you know, rendering of Dedes, Marie Saint Dedes Brazil. She's the Haitian warrior queen défilé, who, like the goddess Aset, gathered the pieces of Asar. That was Dessalines for the rebirth that we still await. So you can see what I'm trying to put together here, because Dessalines' aunt, the famous Tantoya, went back into slavery. He was at the Duclos plantation with Dessalines as a young boy, showing him the art of war that she knew from back in Benin. Her name is Victoria Mantu from Dahomey. And then the spiritual advisor of Dessalines during the whole war was named Grand Guiton. The spiritual advisor of Christophe was Dédé Magritte. If you go to Haiti, the house of Grand Guiton is still there. I took these pictures when I was there. This is the Unga, the priest, and their Govi, the remains of her ancestors go back to before the revolution. These two women in my program, and I took them to Grand Guiton's house. Like, they have lived in that space, but never went there. So these are some of the things that I wanted to show you. Okay, that's the word. Cécile Fatima was it was not until 1945 that someone said that it was Cécile Fatima who was the priestess. But there is a controversy. People say that the older book said that it was an old negress with strange eyes and bristly hair. But let's say that there's an author, his name is Rodney Salnave. He writes that Cécile's name is Atiman Croix David, that she was married to the father of Marie Louise, who became the queen and the wife of Henri Christophe, the great builder of the citadel, and so on. So her sister, Queen Marie Louise, Cécile Fatima is both of these sisters. Cécile Fatima was 16 in 1791, which is why we think that she may not have been the old negress with strange eyes and bristly hair. What we do know is they call her, I have never heard people at that Lakou they always say Mambo Inan. So Mambo Inan is a representative of the Queen of Nzanga. So whoever was there, whoever that woman, old Negress with strange bristly hair that was living in that forest, she may not have been a Creole. And if, in fact, it is true that Cecile Fatima, we know her age, right? She died at the age of 112. She was 16. But imagine these Dede women, they are doing the education of women like this. Because I've always wondered why there were so many mulattoes and where are the negresses? Because these were the ones that were in school. These were the ones that got a little more privilege. So the Mawons, the field Negroes, we're still looking for their story. So, of course, you all have heard of Marie-Jeanne. Another, all these women are paired with a general. Her husband died, but she's famous for a battle. She was a master spy, assassin, and guerrilla fighter. She's on the stamp. She's known for her work at Crête-à-Pierrot. And when her husband died in battle, I think in 1802, doing the Leclerc expedition, she became bodyguard, like Gaddafi has women bodyguards, to Dessalines. All right. We talked about Tantoya. So Tantoya, Dede Magritte, like I said, she had the first unfo in Haiti. It was called Nakampesh. After the revolution, years later, in 1941, during the Régété, it was when they were like destroying all artifacts of Vodun. Some fanatical Christians went and dug up her grave. This is how she unnerved them, because the system will never say her name. When you read these books, it'll say like, the revolution was supposed to start on the 22nd. They had the meeting on the 14th, but two people from a particular plantation started early on the 16th, and they were caught and they were tortured and they gave up everything. And when you read these books, okay, now that you have this background, I'm telling you, understand this white man goes into his records and he takes out things. Because here, whoever the researcher here will say things like, the two men who were tortured on the 16th of August in 1791 told the commissioners that it was the commandeurs, the house domestics, and the coachmen who had planned to kill everyone, but they didn't believe them, right? Imagine if they had said also it was the Dedes. In these books, it said, you know, these people are so past specific. I can't say that word. So, you know, they're so passive, nonviolent. So they didn't expect that these women would be about what really happened. Coupe tête, boule kai. Another thing, the first force of our ancestors, the archetypical vibration of the warrior mother that came in that ceremony was Èzili Dantò. She is the mother of Haiti and liberation, right? All of you, when you see the market women in Africa, those are the ones that give life, that work to do their children's education, and they're normally discarded. But the weirdest thing, after the revolution, all of a sudden, even in Vodun ceremony, they say that the French cut off her tongue. So now that you know the story about the Dedes and the Dahomeyans, imagine how they submerge these women. Literally, in Haitian Vodun, when you go to a ceremony, Èzili Dantò has no voice. And supposedly the legend is the French cut her voice off. How can you cut the voice of a vibration? So I have spent a lot of time telling people, I'm here and I speak. So that is what's going on. And here we go, people.
The God who created the earth, created the sun that gives us light. The God who holds up the ocean, who makes the thunder roar. Our God who has ears to
Bookman's
hear.
prayer.
You who are hidden in the clouds, who watches from where you are. You see all that the white has made us suffer. The white man's God asked him to commit crimes, but the God within us wants to do good. Our God who is so good, so just, he orders us to avenge our wrongs. It's he who will direct our arms and bring us the victory. It's he who will assist us. Throw away the image of the white man's God who is so pitiless and listen to the voice of liberty that sings in our hearts.
Haitian. I'm asking you, you still have the name of the white man. All of you still have his name branded on you as if you're still in slavery. And yet, on August 14, 1791, Bookman said to you, throw away the image of the white man. Okay. There are two things three things. The Bookman's prayer, but there is something else that's very important that happened at Bò Kay Manbo Inan, and it was the chant. And the chant, we say, is the template for defeating white supremacy. You know, there's a source that I read that was talking about how the school of the Notre Dame for Black girls in Cap-Haïtien, the nuns said that the young girls would go out at night and wear red, and would come back and they would chant that song. Mabamba, Kanga Mandele, Kanga Bafioti, Kanga Najoki, Kanga Yo. And imagine these women are coming back, and the nuns have written this in the records. The nuns at the school of Notre Dame. Okay. And you can also find that here on this book I was telling you about, right? Oh no, not that one. It's called The Making of Haiti by Carolyn Fick, F-I-C-K. All right. And go to, you'll see it, right? It's, and I think I have it in here. All right. So that is the template for, imagine young girls going to school. They have some privilege because they're free Black women, mostly mulattoes. But yet they are going at night to these women's voodoo ceremonies, and they're coming back, and the nun is writing down what they're saying, and it's in the King Kongo language of Queen Nzinga. And it's Mabamba Kanga Mundele Kanga Bafioti, and it means that the great master of breath is going to help us, because there's three things we got to do. And this is what I teach about how they got rid of white supremacy. This was these young girls' chant, and this is the chant that is done at voodoo ceremonies. So we know it was a voodoo ceremony. So it's Kanga Mandele. Mandele in King Kongo means the stranger. Remember, Blacks are original to planet Earth. We were everywhere and we don't know where they came from. They're strangers. 2, Kanga Bafioti means the Black collaborator. Kanga Mandele, Kanga Bafioti, Kanga, the Black collaborators. And the last one is Kanga Nojoki. And the Joki means they're evil forces. And their evil forces, the same thing that they are today. They were their religion, their education, the way of living, their economics, their triangulate trade, their media, their lies. That's okay. So I'm going to try to see if I can go back. I'm going to stop sharing so I can go back. So yes, so this is the stop. So essentially We are almost done. And I guess, let me see. I wanted to go back to that space and share it so you can hear this. It was on the streets in Haiti about a year ago. The Haitians were protesting the core group occupation that we have right now. And this guy said that same.
Boom. Boom. Kanga bafiote, kanga muchelele, kanga dokila, kanga e. Viva TV ça ne veut dire là. C'est un chanteuse yo te kon chanter. Sin pa touye yo, y a touye nous.
So it's a song that our ancestors used to sing. It says, if we don't kill them, they will kill us. That's what he said. And then, did I share the screen, you people? I don't know if I did. Am I sharing? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, hey, boom, ba, hey, bomba, Congo, Afiote, Kanga, Mundele, Kanga, Doki, La, Kanga, Lisa, Pasena, Mulele, Vete, bomba, Congo, Afiote, Kanga, Mundele, Kanga, Doki, La, Kanga, Lisa, Pasena, Mulele, Vete, Haiti.
All right. You can see it in this video. All right. So after a 13-year war, which began on this day at midnight on the 22nd, Rochambeau kneeled and begged Dessalines to let him have safe passage out of Haiti. Why don't I stop there? Well, unless, I don't know how long I've been going. But yes, that's how it ended. If you guys want some more, I don't know what time it, I'm going. But listen, the Haitian Revolution was, like I said, a coordinated effort. Everything about what they did was coordinated. And this is our martial arts. I wanted to show it to you a little bit so that when they were fighting, it was like dancing. They used what was in their hands, so they used the machetes. So here it is.
What time is really?
I don't know if we can see that, Attorney Danto. I can't see it.
You can't see it?
No, I can just see the last brother that you played with the chant.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't see the martial art.
All right, let me just try it.
Go back and come in.
Share screen. This share. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, we can.
Thank you for telling me.
Yes.
Oh, no. I went out. Okay. Give me one more time. I'm going to do it one more time. Excuse me. All right, let's go. Oh, no, I have to take it off. Okay. Because I don't, all right, so. Oh. I'm trying to just get back to where I was. Give me one moment, kindly.
Take your time.
Thank you very much. All right, where is it? Where is it? Okay, is that it? Okay. So, and now we go screen share. Which one is it? Can you see it?
No,
we don't see it.
That's not the same one you started with.
don't see it. No.
That's not the same one you had before.
we will get this done. We do not give up.
That's
That's right. I like that.
One more time. All right, so screen share. Screen and share. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's it. Oh,
Why
Now
is
it
it going
changed.
back?
Keeps
Yeah.
changing.
I
can you
know.
back up?
I'm gonna
No,
try.
not there.
All right. So essentially there was a lot of different movement that was used. They used everything, the topography. They use movement, like when, you know, I have a dance background. So when they don't want to say anything and the French was in the area, there's something called a zipol. It would just do like this and people would know it was like, because they had the
Shoulder movement.
thank you. They had the shoulders. So that represented the French. All right. Let me do this. Let me do this. And we're gonna play slide in window. And we're going to go share. And you better do good for me. You see the screen?
Yep.
All right, I went one ahead so I don't mess it up.
Yeah, we see it. Liberty or death.
Okay.
Wow.
There it
All
is.
right.
Out of the night.
Yes.
Women and men used whatever they had to fight.
Teach.
Teach.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Yes.
I always say that one of the things that the Haitian masses never wanted when they created Haiti was something called bourgeois democracy. And bourgeois democracy is when ultimate wealth, ultimate beauty, ultimate progress lives in the same space as slavery, tyranny, and so on. This is not what we fought for. And that's really what we have. There are billionaires in Haiti. Why is Haiti the most favorite disaster story? Well, because it has, well, number one, its strategic location in the Windward Passage. The United States have wanted Mole Saint Nicolas, which is across from Cuba, since the 1880s. As a matter of fact, they sent Frederick Douglass to Haiti to negotiate its sale back in the 1889, something like that. Okay, so now they have it. Haiti's like a military base for them. And they've created these divisions with these young guys, kind of their paramilitary, and they can just do whatever they want. One of the most repeated lies is that Haiti doesn't have forest cover. Haiti's forest cover is as much as the United States forest cover. It's like 32%. Okay. And what they're doing is they're taking, and Haiti has things in it that you can't find anywhere in the world. Like we have something called Lake Azoué that has 11 extinct species. We have, for instance, the deepest cave, the most cave art in the Caribbean. This is Marie-Louise Bombay's cave. And it's the deepest cave, and it has all these cave art that has our history that they are carting out. Because remember what I said, that we Blacks are original to the planet, and there were Black people in Haiti when Columbus got there. If you go to the book, I think it's Vertieres, it's called the Annals of Haiti. I can send you the link during the chat. It tells you the Black folks that were there. Of course, you know there were Black Caribs. But one of the things that's critically important, the reason the United States has its largest embassy in the Western Hemisphere in Haiti is because of this. 66 million years ago, an asteroid landed Haiti, okay? Think Black Panther, okay? An asteroid landed in Haiti that essentially broke up Pangea. And the same, there was one that went to South Africa. We don't know. Some voters say it was an intergalactic war, but it is what they say that killed the dinosaurs. But for our purposes, we have mountains of that remain. It is called iridium. Iridium. It is the most heat resistant metal. And these super billionaires who want to go colonize space, they're taking it out right now. They say something like a ton. I think the last time I looked, a ton of iridium was something like $180 million. Imagine, and my people are in, the Mahafa continues for us. Also, what's in Haiti is so critically important. I'm always almost begging African scholars, because this is why the UN was in Haiti for 18 years. They were carting out the evidence. There's something called, it's called Wash Arlena. It's dated back 35 to 100 million years ago. It changes history. And there are writings on it. So Haiti is a very important place. They are there to stay. They are excavating what they want to excavate out of there. I want to give you an example. During the earthquake, instead of giving earthquake relief, Hillary and Bill Clinton went up to the north to a place called Caracol. If you want to know what Caracol is, and this was a place that they were during the time of the Cacos, during the first occupation. This is where they had this massive prison. That's where they buried Charlemagne Perrault, right? The hero of the that fought against the invaders, right?
That's right.
Well, Caracol is also a name for Black people. And they have taken that place to excavate it, but they tell you they're doing a sweatshop. They have taken tons of land. If you want to know what the Caracol people look like, go to Belize in the Caracol Pyramid in Belize. So mystical places, caves, this is why we won the war, because we could, you know, there would be a mountain there, and Rochambeau would think that, you know, the army was in front of him, and all of a sudden he's surrounded because we went underground. The way they're taking our lands, like I said, they keep saying that we only have, you know, 2% forest cover, right? But yet they just, excuse me, in 2013, they took I think it's 25,000 acres of land from Haiti and made it a protected area. They did this under Michel Martelly. They put him there for that. So this is in the south of Haiti. It's Pic Macaya. Before, right? We didn't elect this man. The core group put him in. And the first thing they did, that's why I always look to see what they're doing. So Pic Macaya, this is a reserve now that the UN has control over. There's about almost 1 million people living there, but they have control over it because they want what's inside of it, because Africans have not destroyed it the way they destroy everything they come to. So, ladies and gentlemen, you all know Blacks original to planet Earth. I already told you that. Here's the book if anybody wants to see the Black tribes that were in Haiti. The Black Caracols, the Guaninis, the Aguelos are some of the many ancient Africans of Haiti before the European colonization in the Mahafa. You can actually find, if you put Haitian Annals at the American Nations by Professor Constantine Samuel Rafinesque, you can find it online for free. And then he has another, that's online for free. Just look it up and he'll tell you. In addition, you all know that Blacks traveled came to the continent, the Western Hemisphere before Columbus. But something because I'm always looking for women, this always sort of like interests me that the Queen of Sheba is reputed to have come to Haiti. And this I found in a book that some Vatican wrote. I can always, I won't keep it, but across the sea, the pillars of the great temple once bore the name Bilquis, daughter of the moon. Here to the west of the porticos knew another Makeda woman. So she Queen of Sheba ruled. She actually came to what they call the Atlantis. All right, I'm going to go very quickly. These are artifacts, Egyptian artifacts that are found in the Americas, right? I put this book here, The First Americans by Dr. Imhotep. It talks about these various artifacts. All right, very quickly, the resistance continued. All right, we are here and we'll continue to be here and we know what we are. Teach. But we are hoping to do what we've learned that the Dedes and the Amazons, Gandoya, what they did is what I try to do by teaching. They use all kinds. When you see those young men, all right, for years, since 2004, I've been saying that Haiti's violence rate was less than the Dominican Republic, it was 5.7 in 2004 when we had a Chapter 7 shoot to kill UN occupation, because they know what's in Haiti and they need it. But in 2004, when they came, you guys look it up, the violence rate per 100,000 was 5.7. Today, it's over 10. So the more they are here with us, the more violent our men get. And that's part of it is chemical. This chemical. So it's bioterrorism. This is a sign I took from, one of the folks on the street saying Obama, Trump, Biden, killers in Haiti, justice for the Haitian people. I wanted you to see the chemical. You see the Haitians facing that Israeli machine? They're gonna spray them. You see? That stuff has chemicals in it. When you see those Haitians doing the most horrendous thing, and then here's their new slave patrol. And they do this to everybody. Okay? So we still have the cultural resistance. All right. The reason I put that, I meant to go back, but what they're saying was, Abat Américain, vive Poutine. Do you guys want me to go back or you got it? You got it?
We got it.
Okay. So there's chanting. They were demonstrators, right? Haiti understands that it's by itself. So these young men are out here saying, Abat Américain, like down with the America. They're trying to use geopolitics the way Toussaint did by playing the Spanish, the French against each other. That's what they were trying to do. And that's what Haiti's puppet president did. He heard those streets, and then he went for the first time in history. He took the credentials of a Russian ambassador. The United States had 2 cats and a baby, and he was dead within a month. Got it? Everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm thinking at this point, if you could wind up so we got a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions myself. Yep. So I'm sure they have a lot of questions.
Yes. Thank you very much.
So much food for thought.
I wanted to, whenever
It was
you're ready,
thorough.
I'm
It was
ready.
thorough. Let's give Attorney.
We're good.
It was thorough and beautiful. Good. Asante. So what did say what you will go? You want to go to announcements and then come back to questions?
Yes, please, Dr. Karenga. Asante Sana, Attorney Èzili Dantò, beautiful presentation. We're going to go to Amanisha for announcements, Dr. Karenga.
Okay, good.
Amanisha. Yeah, well, Asante Sana, Vadigani. Vadigani, my name is Amanisha Tambuzi, and I'm an advocate of us and a member of the African American Cultural Center. Asante Sana to all of you for joining us this Sunday Soul Session. And Asante Sana first to say to you, Jadi, for your well-presented introduction of the organization, us. And I want to say Asante Sana to Seba Chimbuko Tembo for your introduction of our program and presenter. Seba, Dr. Maulana Karenga for today's Soul Session, Haiti, Revolutions, Reflections, Legacy, and Current Lessons of Resistance. Asante Sana to Seba Dr. Maulana Karenga for your excellent presentation and introduction of our presenter for the day, Attorney Èzili Dantò. And Asante Sana, Attorney Dantò, for your informative presentation on IT Revolution Reflections. At this time, we want to stop and thank all of you for your vital contributions to the African American Cultural Center, us, and our 56 years, almost 57 years now, which we will celebrate next month, of work, service, struggle, and institution building. Let me take a few minutes to make a few announcements about our upcoming events at the African American Cultural Center, us. First, we invite you to join us this Wednesday for the next General Assembly meeting of the Black Community Clergy and Labor Alliance this Wednesday, August 24th at noon, discussing community issues in this time of pandemic and resistance, and in particular, Karen Bass's mayoral candidacy. We also invite you to join us every Friday evening for the Black and World News Forum at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a lively discussion and analysis from a Kawaida perspective of local, national, and international news. And then please join us for our Soul Session next Sunday, August 28th, 3 p.m., where we will have a panel discussion on the 59th anniversary of the March on Washington. It will be a joint event with the African American Cultural Center and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Seba Dr. Maulana Karenga will be one of the featured panelists. We look forward to seeing you all there. Also, Crest Unity invites you to attend the King Tut exhibit at the Lighthouse Art Museum in Los Angeles on Saturday, September 3rd at 3:30 p.m. Please contact Saba Diamen as soon as possible if you're interested, as the deadline is next Saturday, August 27th. Excuse me, the contact number for Diamen will be in the chat. And then remember to visit the center virtually at African American Cultural Center-LA.org and the official Kwanzaa website for questions about the holiday. Asante Sana also to our IT team, Sanifu Aditona, Tanai Karenga, and Seba Tiamoyo Karenga. And I know you want to get to your questions and answers, so actually I'm going to turn it over to Seba Maulana Karenga. Asante Sana to you again. And back over to Seba Maulana Karenga.
Asante to you. Amanisha, you did an excellent job. Thank you so much.
Asante to you.
And Seba Chimbuko, do you want to handle the question and answer?
Ebo, Asante, Dr. Karenga, I'll be happy to. Asante Sana. So at this point, we're going to go to our question and answer session. And I know, Dr. Karenga, you mentioned that you had a few questions for Attorney Dantò.
So, Yebo, I did. Attorney Dantò, Asante again for an excellent lecture, thorough, and just beautiful. And it shows your commitment to Haiti, to the Haitian people as a member of that community and as an advocate on a level that's so needed. And I wanted to say, when you speak, sometimes I would like for you to translate the Creole, because one of the things you said real quick, and I'd like for you to go over, was the 3 points of your program for the rescue and reconstruction of Haiti from this imperialist domination. Lakou, Conbeat, and Jardin. And if you would say that, but you have Vive in front of it. So in your writings, you say those three things, but then you had the fourth thing, Vive, in front of life. And so I wanted to have you to explain those points, if you would, please.
Yes, please. And I think I have that on my, I hope I have that on my website. So Vive means you have the right to life. Like right now, Haitians don't have the right to life. There's an exodus. So it essentially means just the right to life. They came out of 300 years of slavery. And there is just that saying that Vive, just the right to life, the life to self-defense.
Teach.
Lakou, they came out of slavery when they didn't even have the right for their children. So they wanted to live in community with their children and their family. And in Haiti, there's about 180,000 Lakous. That's how the masses live. And it's community property for that family. So that the Lakou that I come from, if I should go back to Haiti permanently, there's a piece of land because my grandfather, everybody knows you are the child of so-and-so. And the so-and-so is buried in this Lakou.
May I ask you something? So yes, Lakou, just to make sure we understand, Lakou is a land-based community.
That's right.
Because
Lakou is the land.
Okay, good.
It's a family compound. That's good. What it means. It means family compound. It's like the Jamaicans, I think, call it the yard. It's like the family compound.
Yes.
Lakou, Kobit is a manner of working together. For the African, working wasn't something that you did outside of community. You know, even under slavery, they had drums. They have dances that mimics the various ways of working. So they work in Kombit. Kombit is if someone down another Lakou has lost their husband, then the community goes and puts together in Kombit to help build whatever is needed for that other family.
That's like Ujima in our project.
Yes, exactly. Kombit, Lakou, Vive.
Jardin.
Oh, at the end of enslavement in Haiti, the Haitians were allowed to have a piece of land to grow their own food. Even, like I said, during slavery. So when the Creoles and the generals wanted to have them go back into the plantations, they said, the only thing I want to work is my jardin. Right? They didn't want to go back to big plantations because they had done that for 300 years. So it means that we're about food sovereignty, not export economy. That's what jardin is. Individual families, they have jardin. The way it works in some family is that they will rotate who will plant in 1 year for the whole entire family. And what I say is that we Haitians now, with the technologies that we have, must take those four things: Vive, Lakou, Kombit, and Jardin, and make them technologically proficient. The reason why folks are staying outside of their Lakou now is because the television tells them that that's like too much hard work. You understand? And it's better to go to the cities and live in a slum as opposed to your jardin. I mean, it's sort of like African Americans have to go back into the land also. So I'm always saying to young Haitians and folks who are looking for projects in Haiti, like we have to do a coordinated way. For instance, nobody wants to go and be like the Dominican Republic, where Haitians are doing practically back into slavery with the sugar mills. So that's the vision they have. So I always say to my Haitian artists, I need some country songs here to bring the people back to the land. So to make them have an affinity for it, and also to automate it. You know, we have studied different ways of putting many lakus together, have the same essence, but because of technology, you don't have to do that hard labor work.
Asante, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Asante Sana. Dr. Karenga, did you have another question?
No, that was it for me. Thank you. I have some more, but I want someone else to go next.
Okay, Asante Sana. I saw Impenduzi had his hand, and then we're coming to you, Jasmine, after Impenduzi. Asante Sana. Impenduzi Kutasa, you with us?
Asante, Secretary Chimuko. I didn't see my hand up, but I do have several questions that Dr. Karenga has said, but I'll just save one. I'll ask one. I wanted to ask Attorney Dantò, she gave out so much information, as Dr. Karenga said. We really want to digest that information. And one of the things that we do here at the African American Culture Center is that we pose alternative views of ourselves, the society we live in, and the world. So I want to ask if you could send a reading list to Chimbuko and maybe an outline on how to better understand the Haitian Revolution. And hopefully we can distribute that list to our brothers and sisters and get a better understanding of this wealth of information you just presented to us. Thank you.
A reading list. I can send a reading list.
And you gave us the basis for some of them. You held them up. So those plus any others you see as important, and especially the Black authors, because we put a lot of emphasis on the organic and intellectual, because not only do they know, they have a lived experience, have a commitment beyond what just someone studying you has, you know?
Asante for that, Impenduzi. Asante, Dr. Karenga. And we appreciate that, Attorney Dantò. Jasmine, you have the next question.
Asante Sana. Thank you for this beautiful presentation, Attorney Dantò. Do you know of Dr. Carol John Murat? She has a wonderful nonprofit from Haiti, and she's from Haiti. It would be great if you could partner with her. I'll send you her information in the chat. But really, it's really good because it's she does a lot of work in the U.S. in San Diego, and I also think the reading list would be very helpful because, you know, for us to do our collective work, we have to know our history. So I really greatly appreciate your presentation, and I look forward to getting the information from Seba.
Asante Sana, Jasmine. Asante for that. I see the Max Life. And then we're coming to you, Dr. Ya, after Max Life.
Right. Well, first you have to understand that there's a psychological warfare going on because somebody wants your nation, and the Republic of Port-au-Prince is not Haiti, right? Give you an example, right? You can fly into Cap-Haïtien. In July, we sponsored a delegation to go to the Ogu Festival. You want to know how many? This is July of this year. There was about 20 to 50,000 Haitians at that festival. Nobody was killing it. No one was killing each other. I can show you some of the crowds, but in Port-au-Prince, where the invaders are. That's where, you know, but that's not Haiti. Chigua's in the South. Well, you, like I said, you can, all those areas. The thing about Haiti is, you know, knowing someone to, you know, like a family member to pick you up at the airport in Cap Haitien, or even cross over from the Dominican Republic. You know, if there's a will, there's a way, my man.
All right, Asante Sana. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Dr. Ya, you're next, Asante Sana.
Asante Sana, honneur, respect to Èzili Dantò, Mama Dantò. My name is Dr. Ya Ilombe, and totally comprehensive. You helped me connect a lot of the missing information from learning my history. And I don't know where to start. I want to kind of piggyback from the brother who is the first Haitian American. I used to be told, don't go to Haiti. And I had a friend in Haiti said, no, Bethy, don't listen to them. Come to Haiti. It's okay. And my family is from Pétionville. We have a laku over there. And but I don't like to go to Pétionville. So I went to the 224th anniversary of Bò Kay Manbo Inan in Jacmel. With Carol Desmond, and I met a group of people, and one of them invited me to go to the mountain to Abamon because she was doing a ceremony. I was with my friend Bianca, who's on the line right now, and we went to visit Abamon. It was after the earthquake, 2015-16, and there I met a rural community of farmer, of paysans. And after I went there, in fact, Mambo Doti was also there. So after I left, then what was it happened? The Ouragan, not the earthquake.
Hurricane?
The hurricane happened. And they reach out to me and say, we need you to help. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Fortunately for me, I was at the National Black Association of Storytellers in Philadelphia, and I happened to mention it to one of the vendors, and she received me, and I said, you know what? She gave me stuff to bring to Haiti. I went to Haiti, and I raised some money, and I ended up raising money, and what we did is we purchased some goats for the paysan, which is about, I would say, an hour away from the city of Jacmel, okay? And I helped them out. So what I wanted to say to the brother is, you have to take the initiative to go. You can't be afraid, because that has been the psychological brainwash they've given to us. After that, I took my son at the time, who was 14 years old, to Haiti, and we spent a whole month in Haiti. And I knew I needed to bring him. And for that month, we also was with Mama Ama Mazama, the Blue Lagoon. We went to Jacmel and Bamon, and this is a 14-year-old was raised here, and I took him for a month. And I want you to know, he was very upset. He didn't want to go. As soon as the boy touched Haiti, his whole persona changed.
All right.
Okay? I drove to Haiti. I would go to Léogade, which is, and then Tigouave, Grand Guave to Jacmel. And I have so much to say. I'm sorry. And
certainly, Dr. Yayebo, you've given us a lot to think about. Did you have any particular question for Attorney Danto?
The question for I just want to tell my story.
We love your spirit, though. We love your spirit.
Yes. That's real. That's real.
When she said that Èzili Dantò, because it sounds like the myth has been that the French cut off her tongue, but you're saying, look at me, you know, I'm Èzili embodiment.
Hey.
My tongue was not cut. In other words, she can speak.
Teach.
So you're saying, stop the nonsense. We can speak. Is that it? Stop the nonsense.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, stop the myth, because the way we've been using
right?
our-
This is the thing. The Vodun has become fetishized, and it's become syncretized with these other, what they call egregores in French, right? Like Christianity, right? So there's a lot, and this, I just told you, we just went to the Ogu festival, right? At the Èzili Network, we lift up the male and the female, Dantò and Ogu, the mother and the warrior father. Period. Everything else comes through that, right? That's how the child comes. Everything else is not part of our culture. However, so people keep asking me, you know, how do we get the force back that we had, that we had at Bò Kay Manbo Inan? Well, number one, you've got to get rid of all of this extra stuff that's inside of you. Like decolonization is the first process. Okay. So does it make sense to anyone that the French cut the tongue of a vibration of an archetype? Didn't make sense to me. So one of the things that you have to understand that we know as Vodun is the most ancient of religions or spirituality. It's a way of being. And Dr. Henry Clark, he talked about how Vodun is, the rest of them is the handmaiden of Vodun, the Abrahamic religions, right? They not Dr. Henry Clark, but Professor Smalls, he said that to me the other day. It's like they are fragments of what the original people's spirituality was. But what was that? What is it? Vibration and frequencies. That's what you're calling down. It is the irreducible essence of the greatest part of the feminine principle in justice in Mahat. That's what Èzili Dantò is. And if it doesn't look like that, then that's not what it is. It's very scientific. And one of ways of manifesting, I had that at the beginning of the presentation. I always have that one eye. You know, that one eye? If you want to manifest something, you must be focused. You can't look at graven images. This Port-au-Prince graven images, that's Michel Sisson and all these other white women that have taken affirmative action, and now they've become the good old boys, and they're doing exactly the same thing that the good old boys were doing to my children. And I say, if you want to manifest, then you have to be one-pointed. Don't look left, don't look right. Know that there's an army behind you. When I walk into a room, there's an army behind me. Depuis les marasas, les morts et les mystères. Comprends ça, m'dou? Vous parlez créole?
Oui, parle créole.
Vous comprenez les marasas, les morts et les mystères? Do you understand?
Your escort,
right? The Trinity, the Haitian Trinity, 1 and 1 is 3. Out of primordial space came 2. The 10,000 things that can't be named.
Now I know.
We are.
Yes.
And once you know who you are, you're not walking into a room without the sides of your mother, the side of your father, and what you're going to bring to the world. And the most important thing to understand about that, Haitian and Vodun, which most Vodouists and Haitians don't understand. It is as below, so above. Remember that. Because there is an energy, a planter's mindset that has metastasized right now on this planet. Right? Because they have given a body to it. You are here to give body to something else. And you must give body to that something else. You are the ancestors' memberments, arm, leg, head.
Yes, they are in my DNA.
There you go.
One more for that, Èzili Attorney Dantò. Now, so that we who don't speak Creole don't feel left out.
Oh no!
I did translate it. I did translate it.
Did you? Okay.
Yes, okay, I said the Haitian Trinity or cosmology is 3, right? 1 and 1 is 3. Out of it's Les Marasa, the twins. Out of primordial space came two. You can call it the in-breath, the out-breath. Call it male, female, yang, yang. And then it gave birth to the 10,000 things. That's it.
Okay.
That's the Trinity.
So
mother, father, child, the in out breath. That's the Trinity.
You know,
and all different levels.
It's kind of related to a question that I wanted to ask both you and Dr. Karenga. Because we have the both of you here, and both of you are so courageous and so committed. I wanted to ask you, Attorney Dantò, and also Dr. Karenga, you know, what would be a meditation or a thought or, you know, what do you tell yourself in terms of just pushing forward? And one of the reasons why we appreciate you, Attorney Dantò, as Dr. Karenga said, is just that you're a hardliner. You know, you take a hard African self-determined line, and it's courageous, and it's without, I don't say without consideration, but you're not guided by what, you know, the world tells you you should do or should think. And so I wanted to ask you along the same lines that you're just saying, if you could just, you know, without being too personal, like what would be your morning meditation? What is it that you tell yourself to continue to struggle, continue to fight? You know, that, as you said, Dr. Karenga quoted you, you know, we're not done until the war is won. We're just starting until we're finished, until the war is won.
Right. You know, it's something different from everybody. That's what Vodun is. You enter into the world with different talents. You know, mine is something different than what yours is. So, but I know that I'm not here alone. And I know that this place that I am at, somebody paid for it hard. Where I'm sitting, this Haitian voice, thousands of Haitians have died, eaten by sharks for me to be here, for me to have this voice. When I first started and my name was Èzili Dantò, Haitians couldn't even say that name, and some can't say it today because they're so Catholicized. But today, you know, a lot of people are taking on those names. I think it's just, you have to be one-pointed. The Dedes, they fasted. So the whole body, because especially for females, you have to be very conscious of what's going into your body. They fasted, and fasting also means, you know, what you put in your head. I think for like 20 years, I never watched television. I decided what to put in my head. And I also know that what looks at you also changes you, because remember, everything is vibration. So I'm really not looking for everybody to be looking at me. So this society really tries to take your attention. So if you remember that your attention is currency, don't give it to everybody, right? Always hold something back. If you always hold something back, you're going to build up your own power. In terms of like affirmations, you know, sometimes it just depends on how big the problem is. But, you know, I've done a lot of different things that may like I can see good instead of this. Like if I'm looking at something that is horrible, I can just say that to my head, or I can see there's only one. There's only one. This is not me. This is not what I extend. But that has to come from you. You know, it's what resonates in your soul is what you would say in terms of affirmation. It depends on the circumstances too. So I know that, I don't know, when I was suing the UN and I was standing alone and everyone was telling me that the UN had no, you know, had immunity and whatever. You know, you're going to stand alone. And all the great NAACP and all these other people, they're so afraid of losing their funding that they walk the other side when they see you coming.
Mhm.
You know, you just have to just keep going. Really, honestly, sometimes it's your mind that you have to shut off. You shut off your mind. And oh, I know one, I can tell you that has stood me. Sometimes movement is success. Like when you're paralyzed and you don't know what to do, movement is success. If you stay in one place, you might just freeze there. Movement is success. Sometimes, and that has helped me. Like when I've known not what to do, I would get up and do whatever the next thing that came. You know, let the universe guide you. Don't have to see everything all the time. Movement is success. I've used that one. That has saved my life sometimes.
Asante Sana, thank you so much for sharing that. And Dr. Karenga, if you could also, Tafadali, share in terms of, you know, what has sustained you for so long, and what do you meditate on? What do you think about in terms of, you know, just your courage and your commitment, such a long-term commitment, 57 plus years.
In the struggle.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, appreciate what you said, if I understand correctly. I joined Attorney Dantò in which he said, and I just want to add something from our perspective. So when I get up, this is since the 60s, you know, I mean, this 57 years, is that I get up and first pay homage to the ancestors who brought me into being, and gave me the foundation and framework by which I understand and assert myself in the world. And I say to them, for us, you will always be glorious spirits in heaven and a continuing powerful presence on earth. You are honored and counted among the ancestors. Your name shall endure as a monument, and what you've done on earth shall never perish or pass away. And that puts on me an obligation. And it reminds me of Haji Malcolm's statement that wherever there's a Black person, there's a battle line. Whether you're in the East or the West or North or the South, you and I are in a country that is a battle line for all of us. And so I get up and I say, it's a good day to struggle. It is a good day to struggle. Since the 60s, I said that. And we have a meditation for struggling, right? It begins like this. Now I assign everything to its place in my mind. Struggle stands in the forefront. All else is set aside. I think water, soft and hard, yielding and yet overwhelming as an ocean. I think mountain, I would not be moved in my firmness, nor faked out in my movement. I will hold my ground and dare victory. I think battle, I capture crocodiles and subdue the raging bull. I love life, but would not be frightened by the threat of death. I think patience, right? I think patience. I would pursue my goal without haste, right? To learn, I would listen like one who is deaf to all else and strange to see. I think calm. I'm silenced before the strike and stillness after the storm. I think indestructible spirit. I'm one who obeys no magic and one who will not be burnt by fire or wet by water. And I think humbleness, right? I make no boast. Strength through wisdom is my name. And victory over the aggressive and overconfident is my monument. Hotep, Ashe, Haiti.
Sante, Dr. Karenga, Sante Sana, strong.
Sante to us all. Sante to this beautiful Black culture, from the continent of Africa to Haiti, to US, to South America, to wherever we are. We are an uplifted light for our ancestors. And we must remember that and bear that with strength, determination, and dignity.
That's right.
That is our teaching from our foremothers and forefathers.
Sante Sana, Dr. Karenga. I think you were next, Minister Amadi, and then we have Msamaji, Sister Molly Bell, and Saber Tulivu Jadi.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to be brief. What a wonderful presentation. I've heard you a few times, Attorney Danto, and you always inspire me with your courage and the effort that you continue. What I wanted to find out, I'm not sure if you've given it to us, but I want to make sure I get it this time because I've tried a few times, is to get your website. You know, I want to support your work. You know, I want to, know how to do that.
Absolutely. It's my name.com.
Oh, okay.
About the accents.
Okay, ＥziliDantò.com.
That's it.
Okay, wonderful. That's great.
And also, please, go to, people were asking me about a reading list, right? I do these mentions every year, so go look at the YouTube channel.
Okay, wonderful. Great.
And please subscribe, because
I will.
always censored.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Well, this is another powerful presentation. And so the other one you sort of already answered. I was just going to ask you, how could, we learn more about Vodun? But you sort of answered that one already. So thank you.
You're most welcome.
Asante Sana, Mr. Amadi. I think you were next, Msamaji, and then you, Sister Molly Bell.
Thank you both, Attorney and Maulana. This is amazing. I've never heard anything like this before. I want to ask you, what is the relationship with Dominican Republic and Haiti over history?
The Dominican Republic is like the South one.
Yeah. Did you understand that, Msamaji? Like the Southerners claiming they won.
The Civil War.
The Civil War. Yeah.
They're at our borders only to contain us. And of course, to be a leech and parasite. That's what it is. I mean, of course, the imperialist has a lot to do with it, but the Spaniards came back. Unfortunately, we're still here. I mean, like we didn't let the French come back, and we're still fighting for them not to come back. But on the other side, the Spaniard came back.
Asante Sana. Asante Msamaji. And asante for your reply, Attorney Danto. Sister Molly Bell.
Right. Teach. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Love you. One love. One love. Merci. Honor and respect. Honor and respect. I give you back that vibration and 1,000-fold. Thank you very much. Yeah, we know we paid, it took 147 years, but Haiti paid France and then the United States a total of, the New York Times says it's 115 billion. But President Aristide at the time in 2004, when he asked for the restitution, this is not reparation, it's restitution. When he asked for the embezzlement and the ransom to be repaid, that was part of the reason he was given a coup d'etat.
That's right.
So yes, but from 1825 to 1947, Haiti paid a slave trade debt in 1947 to the United States of America. So yeah, we paid that. We paid that. And I don't know really what people want to know about the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic was owned by Haiti, and in 1844, the Europeans just kept coming back, and they did what they did. They declared and recognized, just like, you know, they do in Africa. You know, all of a sudden there's a South Sudan or some other place that never really existed.
South Korea, South Vietnam. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what they did. So the people in the Dominican Republic, the base of it, a lot of them are Haitian, but they have to make as if they're not Haitian because the level of racism there. But they use our labor in the same way they used it back during slavery time. I think, and because they have nothing except tourism, they leech off of Haiti. The Haitian diaspora sends about $3 billion a year to Haiti to maintain their family. But that money goes right to the Dominican Republic because we have absolutely no manufacturing production or local food sovereignty. We buy it from the Dominican Republic. I think it's about $2 billion worth. And if they didn't get that, they would probably not be able to, you know, survive. So it's in their interest to maintain the poverty of Haiti.
Right.
But it's going to change.
It's going to change.
That's right.
It's going to change. I wanted to just intervene here and say to Sister Maribel and clarify what Sister Maribel said. Sister Maribel said, I can see you're a student of Dr. Karenga. What she meant to say, I can see you agree with Dr. Karenga, because that's what she ended up saying, that both of us started to emphasize the strength and dignity of our people, not going into an indictment or borrowing the pathological language from our oppressor and always talking about our people in negative terms, right? So that we find common ground, and people in the struggle that are struggling right, they tend to have similar views. So that's what Sister Molly Bell meant, even though she started out with the student conversation. But is that fair to say, Sister Molly Bell? Sister Molly Bell, still there. Okay.
There she is. Yes. All right. I think she would agree with you, Dr. Karenga.
Yeah, she came on the flash the sign. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Asante Sana Saber Tulivu Jadi had the next question.
Asante Saber Chimbuko, and asante to you, Attorney Dantò, for that excellent, comprehensive, and heartfelt lecture you gave on presentation you gave on the Haitian people and the Haitian struggle. And your lecture certainly reinforces what Dr. Karenga has written and talked about whenever we talk about the Haitian people in our organization, us. And he annually writes on the significance of the Haitian people. And so your lecture today certainly amplified and captured the spirit with which he speaks. And I wanted to also build on something, Dr. Karenga, you just said, capturing the strength and dignity of the Haitian people. And wanted to ask you, Attorney Dantò, would you name for us a cultural artist or two whose music captures the strength and dignity of the Haitian people. I'm asking specifically because our organization annually celebrates African Liberation Day. And we're always looking for artistic works, cultural work that capture the strength and dignity of the Haitian people. I know there may be many, however, I wanted to ask for the sake of time, if you would mention one or two that should be played in our rotation of music that captures the strength and dignity of the Haitian people. Would you give us two artists that you would suggest? Asante, again, for your excellent lecture.
Thank you. Daniel Beaubrun. Daniel Beaubrun.
Would you spell that last name, please?
Yes, I have to write it. B-A-U-B-R-U-N. He has a band called Lataye, L-A-T-A-Y-E.
Okay.
And there is a jazz artist named Beethoven Oba. And I'll give you one more, Tiga. I use Tiga Jean-Baptiste. These are Racine artists. Of course, I will only the ones that I would play. I don't do compa. I don't do anything French. But Racine artists.
What does Racine mean?
Racine means roots.
Roots, okay.
Roots music.
Good. Okay.
Racine artists.
Good. Thank you.
Daniel Beaubrun. Lataye, look, you know, if I could find it, I will. Yeah, Lataye. You can find actually that music on YouTube, and it's a beautiful song. I use it a lot. When I was traveling with Red, Black, and Moonlight, Daniel played for me. He comes from a very famous Haitian family. So yeah, those are the three I would just off the top of my head.
Very good. Asante Sana, Attorney Dantò.
Okay.
Asante Sana, Attorney Dantò. I would like to ask a question. You mentioned President Aristide and the 2004 coup. I wanted to ask if you would talk to us about his health now, what he's doing now, and about Famille Lavalas, the political party. I understand the largest political party in Haiti, and some of their activities. So if you could talk to us about that, please.
Okay, well, I can't say that I know what his health is at the moment.
Okay.
So we know that President Aristide was the first elected president, and first democratically elected president. I went back to Haiti as one of his attorneys back in 1994. And then in 2004, he was given another coup d'etat by Bush the son. He was deported to Africa. These invaders are ruthless. Ruthless. And it's also about Haitian elite, the Syrio-Lebanese elite. They are the billionaires of the Caribbean. I named them. Biggio, Merv, these families are the mafias. They do the work for the empire. As you know, there's a FBI investigation going on right now with regards to the murder of the president. And all these people were all involved. Remember, the president went to Turkey, and Biggio, Gilbert Biggio, a multi-billionaire in Haiti with he's the Israeli representative in Haiti. These are the people that bring in the guns. These are the people that have private prisons. These are the people that you never see the New York Times talk about. They'll make an expose about France, something that happened in 1825 that Haitians are talking about, but Biggio's right in front of them. He lives right next to Trump and somewhere not far from Mar-a-Lago. You understand? But the United States, it's sort of like Contra-IRA affair sort of thing, so that they use their ships, and he's originally from Aleppo, and the United States uses these Syrians and these immigrants to do their work, so that they can collect money from drugs that they're going to sell to my children in America, right? That goes through Haiti from Colombia, another clientele state. President Aristide, I think, is being blackmailed, essentially. I'm speaking for myself now, not for him. he was, in order for him to return back to Haiti, he had to commit to not participating in the public life of Haiti. That was the deal. So it's been, whenever someone asks him, he normally says, and he's doing a great job, right? With, he has a school that he came back to do education. And so the Fondation, he has a foundation. It's recently built a hospital. So he's doing really good work, but not in the public eye, because the society of, and this is something that goes back to the Haitian Revolution in 1802. 1802, when the Leclerc army came, remember, Henri Christophe, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and Toussaint, you know, a lot of these folks joined with the Leclerc army for a little while before they betrayed them. You understand? And who did they go after? The masses. They wanted to bring the masses back into enslavement. Well, a lot of times, people who are the politicians, they want to use the masses in Haiti to create products that are going to be sold in America. They don't really care about the masses. That's why Jean-Bertrand Aristide was the first one that actually cared about the masses. They felt that he was part of them. He came from their class, from their value system. And that so scared a level of bourgeoisie in Haiti, and then the elites, that to this day, they have a very negative image of who and what he is. But he has accomplished more than any other president in Haitian history.
That's right. Right. No, that's right.
You know, I know that he had a prostate issue, but I can't say that I talked to him directly about it. It's what I read. So he recently went a couple of months ago, not a couple of months ago, maybe 6 months. I don't know exactly when, to Cuba for medical assistance. But this is a man who has suffered.
Yes.
He has suffered. He started out as a priest. Many of the priests that were friends of his were killed.
Yeah.
And I can say that I know that when he was in Washington and where I met him, I saw the effects of that.
Yes.
And then, of course, you know, he went back and they did the same thing all over again. So I don't know if he would want to put himself in that position. He has children and a wife at the moment to be worried about.
That's right.
Yeah. I wanted to say, yeah, you know, we have great respect for him and his wife, Mildred, and we have written, and also we met, Timoy and I met him when he came to Los Angeles here. He's just a strong man. I've read his materials, and his love, as Attorney Dantò said, his love for the people is immeasurable, and he's given his life for it. And she's right. They are coercing him into a non-public life. But that doesn't mean he doesn't find some way to still serve the interests of the people. And these educational projects that he had are also raising new Dessalines, new Cecile Fatima, and new Dedes. Dedes, is that the title? Dedes. Raising new Dedes. And we have to see that unfolding. That is the beauty of freedom unfolding when he's teaching that, because learning is a practice of freedom. Teaching is a practice of freedom. And we have to learn to see free space when other people miss it. And so he's creating that free place. And I have a great respect for him. That's why I write constantly on him and Haiti, always. You know, thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Dr. Karenga. And I see we have a couple of other hands. I just wanted to ask you also, Attorney Dantò, about Family Lavalas. In terms of their...
Well, you know, we don't have a, okay, so I run Free Haiti. And I say to Haitian, there's the nation and then there's the captured state. Right now we have a captured state. It doesn't represent Haitian whatsoever. The people it represents are those who want jobs for the international community. But for us, we want to complete the Haitian Revolution. Doing the Haitian Revolution, a lot of, I come from a peasant stock, right? I don't come from, so in that peasant stock. We are called, even in Haiti, strangers, like we are Maulana, right? We are the Hicks from the countryside. They call on us when they need, there's a war, somebody wants to do a regime change, they'll call on us to come into the streets, and that's what they do. That is not what we want to bring forth into the world. So Famille Lavalas is a political party. And right now they're all in limbo because they're waiting for their masters that do elections in Haiti to decide when there's going to be an election. I work with Haiti and the people every day. I'm not waiting for any election. So political parties, all of them are existing within a structure, a system, to me, that doesn't represent my people. I say that in America too, voting and becoming part of a political party, the Demon Rats or the Republicans, same things. So that system, to me, no matter who's in it, Lavalas, of course, represented the people at a certain point, but right now, I will say that the United States fractured that party and destroyed that party. And it's just not worth, me going into that particular arena and realm with my energy right now. Because it's what kind of elections can you have? What kind of a government can you have? No matter who, whether it's Lavalas or PHTK, if 80% of your budget is controlled by strangers, then they control you.
Didn't they outlaw Lavalas?
They did in the beginning, and now they can run for it. They outlawed them for 10 years. You understand? Yeah. This is how vengeful these folks are, these invaders, right? Just the idea that the common people could do one person, because the United States doesn't have one person, one vote. So now they destroyed that in Haiti. Aristide will probably be the last Haitian president, because they are changing the constitution so that it would be like there's a electoral college like there is in the United States. But so that's what they want. They don't want one person, one vote, because if that was true, these elites and global elites would not have a place in politics.
Right. But we don't want to say they're going to impose that and we're going to accept it, right? So even though that's their intention, our argument is that until we win, the battle is just begun. That's you. I'm just.
No, that So for me, I'd like for everyone who knows what we work for.
Yes.
There are 13 million Haitians in Haiti and 5 million Haitians abroad. We are the nation. We are not this corporatized state. That nation has a history, a culture, a language, a spirituality. We have metastasized. They can try to do whatever they want with that little republic in Haiti. It does not represent Èzili Dantò. So the way I look at it is this. Sometimes we give our support to a politician if that politician is having a program. But we say to that politician, how are you going to accomplish this when the central bank is owned by foreigners and 80% of your budget comes from them? So for us, we're not in that space. We are in the space of la cour, vivre, combite, and jardin, right? I have programs in different spaces because I think that's the new way of people. I mean, even Americans do not appreciate their government because they say it doesn't represent them.
Right.
Well, these elites have gone someplace else. They are not of the people, for the people, by the people.
That's right.
So the people are doing for themselves outside of that plantation state. And that's where I am. I am outside the plantation state. I do not think that I will ever go and see that a politician is going to provide freedom for anybody. We learned that in the 60s. And yet we keep being with the demon rats. I'm not, you know, I don't do politics in that way, but I will help. Free Haiti is here for the nation.
Jeez. Could I just say, and I appreciate your position, but I believe that the battlefront is everywhere. Paul Rose said, the battlefront is everywhere. There's no sheltered rear. So we fight on different levels, right? I think that your program of building community and community capacity, indispensable, it's no problem. Someone though has to confront the established order. There has to be confrontation. Education, mobilization, organization must lead to confrontation. Otherwise, we're always surrounded by these devils. I'm just telling you, right? It's not just a demon, right? It's the devil himself, right? We have to face that. The embodiment of historical evil. That's, I mean, these capitalists and imperial, they kill their mama and sell their mama. They don't even care about their daughters and their son. They're destroying the world, the whole planet. They're not even thinking about a future for their children, their offspring, right? So we got some sick people here. Somebody must say no. And that's how I started my introduction of you, is that one of the things I learned from Haiti is a radical refusal to be defeated. And that means we got to confront. And every day that we exist, Attorney Dantò, you know I know that. I know you know that. Every day we exist. Every day they have not defeated us, we win. We have won because they intend to destroy and kill us.
That's right.
That's
That's
so
right.
I agree with you on that point, but I think we have to fight on every battlefield. It's a difficult one, but we have to do it because they're surrounding us. See, they'll tell you.
They are, but this is what I say about that. In order to fight in their battlefield, you need money, media, and military. Those are the 3 M's that we talk about: money, media, and military. If you don't have those things, then you have to find allies who have those things. That's what we teach with regards to the captured state.
Okay.
When a candidate comes to us, we say that, you know, money, media, and military, because you can't participate in. Most of Haitians, what they do normally is they go to the young people and put them in front of them.
Yeah.
And I always say to the politicians, you know, you're supposed to be in service to them. They're not supposed to help you gain capital and political power.
Right.
So for me, for the state, you need money, media, and military. And if you don't have it, then you need to find an ally that has it and leverage. That's what we teach with regards to that.
The only thing I would add to that, you need the masses. Without the masses, even with the military, it won't last. We have to believe in the people. This is your history, so but it's mine also, but it's yours directly. And that is, the people did not have the weapons that the European had. But we said in the 60s, as for guns, we can find them anywhere, in the hands and in the armories of our oppressor. But what we must do is decide we should fight. And then we'll develop both the method and the means. So I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that I don't want us to forget the masses. And I don't want to forget that no matter what we do on the side, as long as the capitalists and imperialists surround us,
but did you
we're
see
under
that
threat.
With the Haitian Revolution?
With
the Haitian Revolution, it was a small group of people. I mean, this is what Castro did too. And I think that, to me, I've always said, and I know that other people don't, have a different experience, But in my experience, and decades I've been doing this, for me, the masses are traumatized. Maybe it's because of my female. I just see the masses are traumatized. And they will go to whoever can pay. That is a fact that we have seen in Haiti over and over and over again. You can give them $1,000, they will vote for whoever you want them to vote for because they're traumatized and they're without resources. So for me, when I studied Castro, he started out with a small group. When I studied the Haitian Revolution, they started out with a small group. As a matter of fact, as a strategy, they had a strategy. They looked at the masses, not in a romantic way.
Right.
They looked at the masses and you know what they said, this is another part that I can't get to everything. But at that meeting, there was a mulatto man that stood up and said, listen, the king wants to give us 3 days off, but it's the whites here that don't want to do that. That was a lie, but they used that to motivate the masses. And I know that we're not at that space because we're so righteous, but listen, Dedes Magritte, she did what she had to do for the revolution. And there has to come a point when Black people use their brains. And as a corporate attorney, this is what I say. I have seen that we are putting 8.5 billion people, and we're saying we've got to unify 8.5 billion people when less than half of a 1% control. We have to be able to be at that intellectual level and figure out how do we become that half of 1% and come across at them, because we can't bring 8 billion people with us. We can't bring those masses. They're too traumatized. They're too traumatized. So for me, one of the things I say to Pan-Africanists, there may have been a time when the world was young and I was not there. But in this day that I see Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg. These folks have more power than governments. The world, and they're using those power to make policies that affect everything.
Yes.
Right. Their biometrics with regards to your iPhone, they do whatever they want with your information and they sell it. So in this world that we're living in, we can't be saying that we have to be able to give the masses something that will bring them in the way they give you WhatsApp and then they take all your information, the way they give you Facebook and then they take all your information. We have to give them something of value. And that's what we're trying to do at the Èzili Network. We know that morality is not enough. Like we can't tell folks, hey, we're doing the right thing, so come with us. Not happening. Not in this world. You got to give them something of value. You got to look at what Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg and so on have done. And how can we figure this thing out for our nation?
Well, there's one last thing, then we'll let other people talk. I like this conversation because in the final analysis, the Haitian Revolution has no history if it does not have the mass at the center of it. And you yourself just said, and I say this all the time to people, you think you got problems? You think you got trauma? What do you think Harriet Tubman had? What do you think Nat Turner had? Denmark Vesey? What do you think that Zumbi had? What do you think that Yanga in Mexico? What do you think these people had in the Holocaust of enslavement, right? We got a phone, we go to bed with it. You know, I'm just saying, let's be honest.
But they tricked the masses. You see, the masses came along because they're the masses will come.
Okay.
The masses will come if you are centered in what you're doing, and in that vibration, they will come. Like I said, that's how the revolution works.
Okay.
But those who try to organize the masses before they will not win, because the masses only come because that's what happened in the Haitian Revolution. So you had 200 people at this that decided they were going to have this revolution. They coordinated that they were going to have this revolution, but they also expected that they were going to be betrayed, and they were. But that was something that they had planned for.
Yeah.
Because they had 300 years of betrayals.
Yes.
So they planned for all that betrayal, and they had some sort of a cushion for it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, what I say is that yes, the masses are hurting.
Yes.
I do this because we want to stop the hurting of the masses.
That's right.
But I know that same masses will be the one that will make, responsible for my death unless I look around. It's very important to understand where you stand.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't indict the whole masses for traitors.
I'm not saying they're traitors.
No, there are traitors that will betray you. I was just saying, when you said the masses will betray me, but it's not the masses that betray. There are particular people. It's like when we're talking about the Holocaust of enslavement. People say, oh, the black people sold each other. Well, see, that's a quick answer.
Yeah.
The reality is there's perpetrators, collaborators, and victims. And the masses of our people were victims. And those collaborators have to be separated and indicted and dealt with. The perpetrator has to be dealt with, you see? But don't condemn the masses.
I agree. Right. But if you remember what
I don't want our oppressor to be our teacher. That's what I'm trying to get.
No.
Your language was so beautiful when you were praising the people.
But I understand where I am. I've had 6 assassination attempts. If I didn't know where I was,
I know you wouldn't.
I won't be here.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
I keep the bullet casings on my head. Okay. I know where I am.
Yes.
You understand?
And you demonstrate that.
And that's why I'm still here.
Yes.
Because I know where I am.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So all I'm saying is that not every brother is a brother. That's the truth. But the point of the matter is, this is my destiny. My destiny is to help free my people, period.
There it is.
So that's what I do.
Yeah.
Whatever the challenges are, but I'm saying, if I had to wait for the Haitian Lawyers Leadership Network, let's say, I would not be here today. When I started out with a whole bunch of them,
I know.
Most of them went to work for the international community.
I've been betrayed, maligned. I mean, I can't even tell you my story. It's your day. One day I'll tell you mine. But the reality, I have not lost faith in my people.
No. This is not about faith. This is I said before at the beginning that Guinea Posé, we've already won. I would not be here if we had not won. The ancestors did not bring me to this. I know we've already won, but in the process of living this, I have a colony, right? I could be on the plantation doing something, but I know I'm here for a reason, and then I'll be doing my maronage someplace else. I live my maronage.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But still, I guess the only point I want to make is that this collective thing that people talk about, you can have a kernel of people that will move the masses, but you can't expect the whole masses to collectively be where you need them to be. In the Haitian Revolution, Bookman, they would burn a plantation and they moved around to different plantation. And as they burnt the plantation, just like Denmark Vesey and Nat Turner, they would acquire people whose interest was to get off of that plantation. So
That's right.
So you acquire the masses as you provide them with something.
Okay.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I have no problem
but
with
it's not an intellectual thing. It's something you have to go out there and do it. Right. You have to, start the action.
Right.
And then the masses will come if they're going to get something out of it. So as they burnt down the plantations in the north of Haiti, within a month, they had killed 1,000 enslavers, and they had burnt down most of the and that was liberation for the people. So they followed Bookman. When Bookman was killed in November, the others were there.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
So-
that is what will happen. That's always what will happen. But if we sit and we say we have to get 8 billion people together, that's never going to happen.
No, that's romanticizing. We're talking about building a self-conscious nation that each person becomes a self-conscious agent of their own liberation. This is what Fanon meant when he said, the national liberation struggle succeeds to the precise degree that each person begins the irreversible practice that frees themselves in the context of the overall struggle.
That's
So
right. You see, your life represents an energy that will multiply just by very living the indomitable truth that you have lived. So that there are many, many watching you that you don't even know, just by living the way you lived. And in that space, you are building that energy.
Mhm.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah, okay, I agree. I think
Your very life, because that's what brought me here, was your life.
Yeah.
What you represented, what you represent. You represent this fighting spirit that no matter what the obstacles that was in front of you, you kept going. And not only that,
Mhm.
you left behind
Mhm.
an institution,
Mhm.
right? Kwanzaa is an institution.
Yes.
An institution that everybody in the world knows about. That is an achievement.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And I just want to say to you, thank you so much for this conversation. It's important because the questions you raised, the statements you made, they're in other people's heart and mind. The ones I raised are the same. So we need that conversation, and we need it on an ongoing basis. So thanks very much for this. I turn it over to.
Yes. Asante Sana, that was that was precious. That was invaluable. We're going to go back and play and listen to the presentations that each of you gave for years to come. Beautiful. Asante Sana for that. Just to have, slightly different perspectives, but at the same time, the respect that each of you showed Dr. Karenga and Attorney Danto for each other. This is beautiful.
Yes, certainly.
Just so beautiful. So we usually try to close out by 6 o'clock, and I see that Gina Misa has her hand up. And Brother Max Life, since you already asked the question, I don't know if that hand is up from before, but I want to ask you if we could just close out with Gina Misa, if you don't mind, because we are at 6 o'clock now. So Gina Misa, it's on you.
And denied citizenship. I defer to. And aside to Attorney Dantò for coming when we invite her, because I know she's so busy, she's got a lot of work, and we have so much respect for you, and we want to support you in any way we can, Attorney Dantò. So I want you to close out. I've said enough. I want you to close out and answer that question.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. On behalf of all that we don't see, on behalf of all that is greater than we, I thank you, Dr. Karenga, and your whole team for having me here on this sacred day of August 21st in the week of the Haiti Revolution, and allowing us to use this to send to our network also. I think your whole entire team. With respect to the question about the denationalization of Haitian in the Dominican Republic, white dominant society would like to whiten Haiti, and when they think that their nation is being soiled by Black blood, you gotta remember, it was the fall of Grenada back in 1492 January that's where these people come from, the Spanish. They have a psychological thing about the Black hordes from the time of the Moors when they conquered them. And so that has translated to Haitian in Haiti. And it continues to. So they want to whiten whenever they want. They bring us to the Dominican Republic to work their places that they don't want to work in because they're too white and mulatto to work at the sugar plantations or the construction work. But then when they feel that, you know, something is going wrong with their lives, like the poor whites sometimes in America, they will lynch a Haitian. Just think about it like that. That's what happens. But right now, yes, they denationalized Haitians going back to 1929. So you could have been there for like 84 years and you had your house and so on. It was just a way of taking your property. You were deported. So around 2013, they deported something like 200,000 Haitians. This was under Obama. They made apartheid legal and there was no outcry. The world remained silent. CARICOM remained silent. OOS remained silent. The UN remained silent. We are alone, Haitian, and we fight alone. And that's what happened. And it continues to happen. But as I said, you know, if the Haitian women who had gone through enslavement could still have the energy to fight back.
Now.
Right.
And we have no excuse. That's the only I can leave to you.
Now. You know that's right. You know that's right.
Thank you very much. Find me on ÉziliDantò.com, and please, if you want to know more or if you're looking, I don't like really recommending books because there's only like certain things I can take from them.
That's right.
But I will give you some few that's good. But if you really want to know about Haiti, go to my work. There's 18 years of it out here.
Jeez, that's right.
Okay, and if anybody wants to help me, like put it out in book form, movie form, I would love to put what we just saw here in a movie form, and I'm looking for like episodic. So anybody who wants to help with that, please come along.
Okay.
We can use that help.
That's right.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Asante to you. Thanks so much. Asante Sana. We say to you, as we do to all I get. Asante, Asante Nyingi.
Could someone send me the link to this live so I can give it to my network? Because I don't have it.
Yeah.
All right. Just send it in my phone, Shabanko, okay? The link to the live. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please finish.
Okay. I just, I don't have the link to the live, so I can give it to the network so they can watch it before you send me the recording.
Thank you for this gathering at this sacred moment, this moment in history. And for all you've given, before you got here, all you give after you got in. Odu Ifa says that let's do things with joy, for surely our secretary, one of our secretaries, Odu Ifa said, let's do things with joy, for surely humans have been divinely chosen to bring good into the world. And we say that's the fundamental mission and meaning of human life. And to do that which is forever, the Hosea says, another of our secretary, is forever. A person called forth by the work, as Timothy prompted me, does not die or pass away, for their name is forever raised and remembered because of it. We live through the work of our ancestors. They taught us to walk in dignity in the world, and you have reaffirmed that, and you've taught us again to look into the depths of our history, see the beauty of it, the sacred lessons and legacy that it represents. We believe that no narrative is more sacred than our own, no people more holy or chosen, right? We are, and I saw this, I couldn't find back where you said, I love what you said. We are our own witness, like the sun. That's you, isn't it?
Yes.
I saw it and I couldn't find it again, but just think about that, sisters and brothers. We are our own witnesses, just like the sun, So I love that. Thank you for coming. We say again in our language, Swahili, Asante, Asante Nyingi, Abadi Asante Mchanga wa Pwani ni Haba. Thanks, many thanks, Attorney Dantò. And compared to the many times we say things, the number of grains of sand on the seashore or field. We extend to you a standing invitation to come back and share with us the wealth of your information, the beauty of your life, the depth of your, and instructive depth of your experiences in life. So thanks for this. Thanks for the gift you give to us as African people. We close also by saying what we've always said. This is our duty to know our past and honor it, to engage our present and improve it, and to imagine a whole new future and to forge it in the most ethical, effective, and expansive way. This too, Black people, continue to struggle. Keep the faith, hold the line, love and respect our people and each other, practiced in Nguzo Saba. Seek and speak truth, do and demand justice. Be constantly concerned with the well-being of the world and all in it. And dare help reveal the overarching movement that prefigures and makes possible the good world we all want and deserve to live in and leave as a legacy worthy of the name and history African. Hotep, Ashe, Haiti. And so we close with our 7 Harambe as we have since the 60s. Harambe is a Swahili word that means let's all pour together. And surely to build the good world we all want and deserve to live in, we must pour together. And when we say it 7 times for the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles, which we say is a moral minimum set of values that Black people need in order to rescue and reconstruct their history and humanity and shape them in their own image and interest. We believe if Black people could practice just some of these principles, some of the time, a whole new change would come in their life. And those principles, first in Swahili and then in English, are umoja, unity, kujichagulia, self-determination, ujima, collective work and responsibility, ujamaa, cooperative economic, konbit, nia, purpose, goomba, creativity, and imani, faith. Faith in ourselves, Black people, faith in our Creator, Faith in our mothers, our fathers, our sisters, our brothers, our grandmothers and grandfathers, our elders, our youth, our future. Faith in all that makes us beautiful and strong. And faith in the righteousness and victory of our cause. Faith that through hard work, long struggle, and a whole lot of love and understanding, we can again step back on the stage of human history as a free, proud, and productive people. On the count of three then.
Dr. Karenga, may we unmute before we say Harambe?
Yes, please. Everyone unmute. This is your time to unmute. Okay. On the count of three, Jali, 2. Harambe!
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 Hey!
Harambe!
Hey!
Harambe!
Hey!
Harambe!
Hey!
Harambe!
Thank you.
Beautiful. Sante Sana Bora. And we'll send that to you, Attorney Danto. We'll send that to you.
Please do so I can watch it, okay?
Yes,
Today.
absolutely.
Nice.
Sante.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sante, Dr. Karenga.
Thank you so much.
Sante.
Thanks, Diane.
Master teacher.
Oh, wake up, everybody. The brand new world.
Bring it in.
All right. I'll be looking for that link so I can watch it. Thank you very much.
Take care now.
Sante Sana.
All right,
bye-bye.
Chitao Nana, Sante.
Chitao Nana.